Partey 50 million euros. I see. From Atletico to Arsenal. Mo Kudus 43 million euros from Ajax to West Ham. Michael Essien 38 million euros from Lyon to Chelsea. And then Enes Nyama, the original one didn't have Enes Nyama. Enes Nyama 28.5 million from RWD to Lyon. Right, you know he went from North Island via this other place. So that's that. Kamaldeen 25 million euros from Rennes to Southampton. Nyama 25 million euros from North Island to RWD. Baba Rahman 24.4 million euros from Augsburg to Chelsea. Andre Ayew 24.1 million euros. 24.1 million euros from Swansea to West Ham. And I think they paid the same amount to take him back to Swansea.
That's correct.
That's interesting. So that's
break even.
Yes, they broke even there. So that's that. So Mo Kudus is now sitting on top of the tree, the most expensive Ghanaian football transfer of all time. 64 million euros. I'm happy for him. I pray for the day a Ghanaian player will get to 100 million euros. Right now we are on 64. Yeah. So we'll get there. Maybe Kwesi Sibo. Shout out to Kwesi Sibo. Please, Kwesi Sibo's management. We are giving you guys shout outs this morning.
And I'm sure this young guy, the one who plays in Italy, the one who signed for the Saudi club, Al Qadsiya.
Oh, Bonsuba.
No. He signed and was loaned out to the Spanish house.
Jerry
for you. He's a striker.
Well, he has to perform. If he does,
so if he's performing at that level, you
think he'll be worth that amount?
Possible.
Hey, them Bakola and things. How much?
Well,
Bradley Bakola.
Exceptional talent. But Nathan,
yes,
we must first establish that being the most expensive player in Ghanaian history does not mean you are the best Ghanaian player abroad. No, let's, for the avoidance of doubt.
Okay, fine.
The fact that you are the most expensive player doesn't necessarily mean you are the best player out there. You have to go and justify this price tag.
He has to justify it.
Of course. He has to justify this price tag. And he has to prove to everybody that, indeed, Tottenham spent £55 million on me because they saw my potential, they saw my talent, they saw my skill set, and felt that, look, bringing me to this club, I'll move them to the next level. So for Kudus to do what Michael Essien did, become a Michael Essien at Chelsea,
yes,
he has to justify that price tag. Okay. So for a very long time, Michael Essien was on top of the tree. And he backed that price tag with the kind of performances we saw him put out for Chelsea on the field. Okay. So Kudus Mohammed, having gone into that position, would have to justify this price tag.
Okay.
Partey at Arsenal, largely, but for injuries, anytime Partey was on the pitch, you could tell this was a quality player. And Arsenal would say, well, regardless of how things went, they'll still believe that Partey justified this price tag, but for injuries.
Okay. But for injuries.
Okay. Partey, largely, during his tenure at Arsenal, no Arsenal fan would today tell me that Partey was not a good player. He proved his worth at Arsenal. Asamoah, when he joined Sunderland, again, on the back of a very good World Cup. Right. He came to Sunderland and did the business until he left for the Gulf.
Yeah.
Okay. Then you look at Andre. Andre, fantastic player. Big money move to West Ham. Unfortunately, his career at West Ham was truncated by a terrible injury. I think that's his first.
It was his first game. Yeah. I remember at Chelsea.
Yeah,
he tore his hamstring at Chelsea, and
that was it. And that was it for him. Then you can talk about Kamaldeen Sulemana. Lots of potential, showed lots of promise, but when he joined Southampton, that big money move, he never really cut it. So you again look at it and say, well, yes, huge price tag, but you have to go and do the business. You have to go and do the job. You have to go and justify why the club spent so much money on you. And when you look through the list, just a few of the players in there have done it. Baba Rahman never cut it at Chelsea. He never made it happen.
Yeah,
okay,
he too
again,
had
injury issues and all.
yeah.
But that's why I'm saying that. Huge price tag, yes. But you are now going to prove to everybody that you are worth that amount of money they spent on you.
Okay.
But that notwithstanding, I think it's a good move for Kudus. Okay. Playing for West Ham. West Ham is not your typical top 4 club. West Ham may finish at best Europa League places. And then normally you'd find them playing in the Conference League.
Yeah.
They've even won the Conference
Yes,
League
they
before.
did.
Yes. And so
Kudus joined them the season after they won.
So that's where you'd normally find a West Ham. Okay. But you would get a Tottenham Hotspur over the last few seasons we've seen them challenging to play in the top 4. Okay. And by virtue of the fact that they are playing in Europe this time, you can expect that Kudus will get a bit more spotlight.
Okay.
Week in, week out, we'll see Mohammed Kudus play in the Champions League. Every weekend, we'll see Mohammed Kudus play in the English Premier League. And Kudus is one of those players who has quite a very good fitness record. He doesn't normally get injured. He's not always out of the team because of injury. So again, you are guaranteed starts if you stay fit and deliver fantastic performances week in, week out. For most part of last season, he had his own battles. First with Julian Lopetegui. And we all know how that relationship started. There were times he made him play, there were times he felt he wasn't good for him tactically in the setup and all. So Mohammed Kudus, right from the start of the tenure of Julian Lopetegui, started losing a bit of confidence. Okay. Until he was fired somewhere in January this year. Then Graham Potter took over. Again, new manager, new role, new way of playing, new way of training. All of those things Sporty distracted him a bit. But without doubt, playing under David Moyes found a system that suited him. David Moyes found a way to play him, and he delivered. And if you look at the numbers, Mohammed Kudus played, I think, 1,526 minutes on the right side of attack for West Ham.
On the right?
Yeah, on the right.
Where he was cutting onto his left.
Okay. And then, delivering what we all know he delivers. So, playing in that position, we saw his performances. I think he scored about 14 goals in all competitions and 9 assists. That was his best season, having just joined the club under David Moyes. Playing under different managers, shifted the role a bit. He played almost half of the same, not even half. He played just about 640 minutes on the right, playing under 2 different managers last season. And clearly, you compare the numbers, the number of minutes he played in that first season for West Ham under Moyes on that right-hand side, and the 600 minutes he did under 2 managers in the second season. Clearly, the output wasn't going to be the same. He struggled with all that. So, playing under a manager like Thomas Frank. Thomas Frank is one of the managers you can credit for being very tactically malleable. Tactical flexibility. Fantastic. He knows how to set up a team to get the best out of players. He knows the strengths and weaknesses of players and tries to get them to focus on their strengths and deliver in the team. He's done that with players like Oli Watkins, like I said earlier today. He's done it with Buemo. He's done it with Wissa, Ivan Toney, even goalkeeper David Raya. So he knows how to get players to deliver. Now Kudus comes into a team where, for the manager and the player himself, they are all new there. So it's a good time to justify inclusion in that setup. It's a good time to catch the eye of the coach, because all the players in there would have to prove themselves to the coach. Okay.
Even those who were there before
he came would all have to go and justify themselves to the coach and say, well, I am good at this, I am good at that. What helps Kudus is that he's the coach's choice. The coach wants him and has brought him into the team. So he can shape him in the mode of an Mbuemo or a Wissa or an Ivan Toney, or whichever player he wants to turn him into. That possibility is there. So I'm expecting that Kudus is in good hands. I'm expecting that with Thomas Frank at the helm, he can help Kudus gradually become that player that we all expect to see him to be. He can get Kudus to be that high performer week in, week out. So he's in good hands. He has a good manager. He has a good crop of players around him. He's going to play around Udogie, lots of young players as well. Udogie, Brennan Johnson, there's Kulusevski in that team. There's Madison with lots of experience in there. There's Van de Ven. He's a very good friend. You know that Melida ensued last You know,
I remember.
Van de Ven, all of them were in that. Richarlison, all of them were in there.
Richarlison,
You know,
and I remember.
you know, that ended them with the 5-game ban. All of those things happened, and so these are players around his age bracket that he would form a very good unit with, and this is a team that should look good in the next 2-3 seasons. This Tottenham team with the age of the players in there, with the kind of manager they have, and how he builds teams for the future. I think that he's one of the top ones there, and he should deliver for the team. And you know, Thomas Frank, you look at that Brentford team, and he's credited for having improved that Brentford team a lot. So you look at the value of that team since he took over and since he managed them before he left. The statistics or the data shows that he improved that team by 34%. He improved the value of the team by 34%. That's huge for a manager who picks players who are not your well-known quantities and then tries to get them into world beaters. So I believe Thomas Frank will do a good job at Tottenham, and I believe that with the kind of players he has, and with Kudus joining the fray, he should be able to help Kudus get to the top just as we wanted. So all the best to Mohammed Kudus, and we hope that a lot of his dribbling skills and his power drivers and all would deliver mouth-watering performances for him, or, you know, a lot of praise for him week in, week out. So we wish him well. It's a good move for him, good move for the Black Stars as well, because we get to see our player playing the Champions League. We get to see him.
Spurs are in next season's Champions League, so
we get to see him a bit more.
It's good for him,
and we hope that his confidence comes back.
Well, I agree with you completely. I wish Starboy the very best. Right, this is a huge step for him. I like the fact that at every turn of his career, he's taking the most logical step. So right to Dream, North Island, and then to Ajax to get you into mainstream European football, West Ham to get into the Premier League, and then you move up to Spurs, who have Champions League, bigger profile, you know, bigger club than West Ham, if you like.
Yeah.
And the fact that he gets to play in the Champions League is good. And then from that point, if you do well, you can only move upwards. So now you are now getting into the bracket of the bigger teams, either in England or in Spain or Italy, wherever. So I just wish him very well. I hope that he would have learned the lesson. He's been in England for 2 seasons. I hope he would have learned, you know, what works, what doesn't work. He himself as a player, I'm sure he's now figured out this works in the Premier League, this doesn't work in the Premier League. So now that I'm going to a newer team, we'll see what happens. Let's speak to Christopher Nimley. He's a coach and pundit, and let's get his thoughts on what this means for Kudus. So maybe we can have a chat about tactically, where does Kudus fit into this West Ham? It's a very important question because teams buy players and then they realize, wait a minute, this guy doesn't fit. So we'll have to find out if Kudus will be a good fit at Spurs. Chris, good morning. Thank you so much for joining us and welcome to the Sporty Breakfast.
Thank you, Nathan. It's always a pleasure to have such decent times.
Wonderful. I don't know what you make of the move. So first, I just want your reaction as a fan, a Ghanaian, a football follower. Mo Kudus officially joined Tottenham Hotspur last night. What your thoughts on this move?
Okay, good morning to your very distinguished and discerning listeners. I think yesterday, when obviously as a Ghanaian, I heard the move that Mo Kudus has finally been transferred to Spurs, I was over the moon. I was very, very happy. As a Ghanaian, I was very, very happy. Truth be told, I've always said that I want our players to play for the big teams, to play in the best competitions in the world. I told myself, would I have been very happy if Kudus had joined Tottenham some few years ago? I would have said no. But Tottenham, as we speak today, if you look at what Mr. Levy has done, the sort of investment that has gone into this club, the quality, I think by far they have the best stadium in England as we speak. And the fact that Champions League has been made available to them, and he has gone in there to be part of such a family that I believe will give it all in every competition that they will play. Yesterday, even the icing on the cake for Spurs is when I also heard that they had gone to Nottingham Forest and they had triggered Gibbs White's contract, and they brought him on board. I said, wow, then these guys really do mean business, because these are players who understand the dynamics of the English Premier League. They are not buying from outside; they are buying within. So there isn't the time to go and adjust to the league. That is settled. You walk in there, you listen to your coach, and then you go ahead and perform. So I think every Ghanaian should be happy about this. And let's see how the young man embraces the situation and go and make us all proud.
From a tactical perspective, does Kudus fit Spurs? They've decided to go in a new direction. They've brought in former Brentford manager Thomas Frank. Kudus has joined. Gibbs White will have his medical. They have Champions League football. Where does Kudus fit in this team? Because if you look at the personnel, it's not like players have left or anything. James Maddison is still there. Brennan Johnson is still there. Dejan Kulusevski is there. Son Heung-min is still there. So where will Kudus fit in all of this?
Okay, I think that is the most important question that everybody will have to think about, and we all try to provide answers to. But at the end of the day, the answer to where he fits will come from him himself. Now, he's moved into a team, like you rightly just said, where everybody's there. So first and foremost, there will be competition. Now, if you look at the manager, he's a new manager. He's gone into the team. So one advantage that Mo has is the fact that this is the manager's signing. This manager has sanctioned the buying of Mo Kudus. So that is advantage number one. Now, with that at your disposal, you can only hope and you can only wait. As at when the opportunity presents itself, you need to remind everybody in that Spurs' dressing room how good a player you are. I've always said that one player whom I've always believed in when it comes to Ghana is Michael Essien. When Michael Essien walked into that Chelsea dressing room, look at the egos there. Look at the establishment there. Look at the quality of the players there. But I listened to Claude Makalele. I listened to Frank Lampard. They said Essien's first training session, they all could look and say, wow, this is the real deal. This guy here is actually going to create problems for us in terms of his position in the team. And when Michael Essien was given his debut, I stand to be corrected, I think Essien's first match was against Arsenal.
I think so,
he came on for a 35 minutes straight. And everybody could see. He touched, he let go of it, his movement, his physicality, his strength. He quickly reminded everybody that this is what I am bringing on board. What I have, nobody else have in this team. And therefore, I'm a unique player within the setup. The rest was history. He dominated everybody. Now, in the case of Mohammed Kudus, this manager, we all knew when he was at Brentford. Wherever he's gone, he's a manager that plays in the back three. He's a manager that do a back three, a middle 4 or 5, a front 2 or 1. Now, if Thomas Frank is going to stick to that, then believe you me, there will be serious adjustment and serious competition in the setup for the young man. Is he going to be asked to play as a wing-back? A position that I don't think he can play. A position that, if you look at the Spurs setup, for their wingers, the only one I believe tactically can do that is Johnson. But if you look at the way Poro, the Spanish boy, the way he plays, he will fit into a right wing back position solid. And then the Italian left back, the one with the Nigerian name,
Udogi, Destiny Udogi,
perfectly. He fits as a left wing back perfectly. So then Maddison, Kulusevski, Mo Kudus, all of them is coming central. All of them will have to move into a central position. This first team, one position that I believe there's no competition in their striking force. Solanke leads the line. He leads the line because they don't have anybody like him. Then the likes of Richarlison, he will be providing direct competition for Solanke. Now the rest, if you look at Bissouma, Sarr, those are the guys that will be in the middle as what the defensive block, they will shield the back line, the back three, and they will protect them. So you just look at, if the manager sticks to his system, there's only 2 slots left to Nita. So that 2 slots, Son Heung-min, we all know, is aging now. So that back and forth on the flanks, I'm not sure he will do that again. He's the captain of the team. Then there's Madison. Then, of course, there's Kulusevski. Then there's Mohammed Kudus. Then there are some few other players that I've not mentioned. So what our star boy will have to know, if he's not listening, people closer to him should tell him. If I get the chance, I will tell him that, look, they've splashed 55 million pounds on you. So that gives you that leverage in being picked by this manager. But what you cannot afford to do is what we saw at West Ham, where when you lose the ball, you are walking. Because under this manager, one thing that is very, very dominant and prominent about him is the fact that in his team, in that Brentford team that we've all come to fall in love with, the Mbeuemos, the Wisa, all of them were workaholics.
Yeah.
They defend as a team, they attack as a team. Nobody walks when the team is not in possession of the ball. I have said on countless occasions, that is one aspect of Kudus's game that personally I hate. I don't like, I don't love, I will never like, I will never love. So he needs to stop that. If he can stop that and make himself a complete player, not only the player on the ball, I believe the only player in world football who has earned the right to walk, something I don't prescribe for any player, is Leo Messi and Cristiano Ronaldo. We all just watched PSG. We watched PSG humbled Real Madrid 2 days ago because Mbappe will not press, Vinicius will not. They were waiting for the others to press the ball and then unleash them. Mbappe, Vinicius, you were directly facing Hakimi, Mendes. When their team had the ball, they will run past you and go and multiply in your half, add numbers to it. How many times did we not see Hakimi went past Mbappe, gave PSG the outlet on the flank, crossing the ball? I think it resulted into goals. When Hakimi went, Mbappe will be looking at him, but he's going. And that was affecting Real Madrid. And they were not playing for themselves. They were not playing for the team. In modern football, Nathan Kwao, if you are that sort of player, a player who only thinks that he should be seen when the ball is with him, personally, I don't advise you to play for any coach. There are defensive and offensive aspects of the game. We defend as a team, we attack as a team. So Mohammed Kudus, if you look at my little tactical disbursement of players within the system that this manager plays, Mohammed Kudus will have to realize without any fear or favor that there's work to be done. I watched the video yesterday where he said, I only wanted Spurs. Play the track. I said, wow, that's the confidence I want to see you go in there. Walk onto that pitch, the new White Hart Lane, and say, yes, I only wanted Spurs. And play the track and let me dance to it. Meaning you are involved, you are going, you are coming, you are creating, you are tackling, you are hustling, you are getting yourself entangled in the difficult situations. And when there's time to show everybody how good you are a player technically, which has never been and will never be in any form of doubt, you showcase yourself to the world. They have the Champions League to play in. And I can only hope and pray that on nights of the Champions League, when that big night comes in the Champions League, it will remind everybody and the world how good a player he is. So there's a very difficult work to be done tactically. And like I said, unless the manager decides that maybe the players at his disposal, he will change the system. But for me, if it's not broken, you don't fix it. If the back three, the middle four, or the front three, or the back three, the middle five, and the front two is what favors this man, the front one, back three, middle five, is what favors this man. Let him go for it, and let's see how things go.
All right, we wait to see how all of this will play out in the Premier League when it starts in August. Raymond has a question.
Oh, good morning, Coach.
Okay, sure. No good morning, fan to your thing.
No more. One ko nya he no ko.
Nya he duade.
I hear duade.
Nya he duade no lolo. Coach. When I go to down no ba shi fufu ye duade I have different sizes. No nya he duade no lolo. I'm down.
Oh, why?
Nah, again Jim Ratcliffe. I don't get this, man. I really don't understand this Jim Ratcliffe, man. Yesterday I heard Man United have signed a player. I get France youth.
Yeah.
What is this?
Yeah.
Is this what we want to hear at this moment? But look, having said that, I am still confident that they will do at least 3 or 4 more business in addition to Konya.
You have high hopes.
Yeah, no. You see, the other day I was saying it, and I believe that is the way it's going to be. If you look at those players that have left and those that have been told to leave,
yes, so
they have forcefully.
Your nephew Garnacho,
Rashford,
Sancho,
Anthony.
Yeah, but Garnacho and Rashford, at least those two. Garnacho has been asked to come back to train. So
he's training not with the first team. The release said come and train.
Yes,
so he cannot be. You cannot leave him there. Whatever the case, although you don't want him, but his money, his good money to the coffers of the team. So you cannot discard him like that.
Okay,
he will leave, but you need to help him go wherever he has to go.
Okay,
that the fundamental things you can do to help him is to at least build his fitness. Don't forget, he's still being paid by the team. So as he's being paid, come and work out. So that when it's time for you, so whoever comes for you, the person will say, but the man is enjoying. He's not doing any preseason. We are now. There's nothing of the sort. He's been given proper medical training, proper physical training, everything checked. So just come and lift him, pay your money, and take him away. So that I understand. Most people were not happy. I said, no. They are not with the first team. They are not going on tour with the first team.
Well, that is true.
Clearly, if Man were to do a U-turn, Ruben Amorim is done. Every confidence I have in him would have completely vanished, and it would just be a matter of time, and he gets the sack. He has to hold his ground. This is something that he's the only manager in Manchester in history who's been able to do post Sir Alex Ferguson. He has to hold his ground, and I expect Barada, Wilcox, Blanc, even the man himself, General, and the Glazers in particular, I expect them to back this manager. You don't go and pick somebody's manager in the middle of the season. He said, I didn't want to come. Let me come at the end. You were able to convince him to come. We all saw the outcome. This is the window that you should use to unleash Ruben Amorim to the Premier League. And as we speak, you've only given him one player, Matthias Cunha. So everybody he doesn't want, let the person stay out of the team. Those he wants, get them for him. And like I'm saying, if you look at the fact that Rashford, Sancho, Anthony, Malacia, Garnacho, Lindelof, Evans, Lemter, you've let go of close to, I think, 8 to 9 players who are all first team players. First team players. You can't say you won't replace them.
Okay, so
if you don't replace them, it's simple. You were 15th, you get relegated.
Okay.
You were 15th, it will get worse than it was. So that means it's relegation.
Okay.
Look, we've supported this team because we know the standard of the team. I believe Man United in their history have already attained their lowest of lows.
Okay.
This team will be on the up.
So you think that some business will be done, more players will be brought in?
Definitely.
Well,
no.
I mean, the window closes on the 1st of September, so let's see.
There's a long time. My only worry is that you need the players to come in for preseason.
Yeah, that is true.
The drills, the tactical way of doing things according to Amorim, they will need to perfect. The dress rehearsals, the movement off and on the ball, where the ball will be. These are things that as coaches we don't take lightly at all.
Okay.
So, you see, we can only hope, but don't worry. I know you and Ray are extremely disturbed, but don't worry.
Ray,
let's calm down You do idea no from idea or buy a sabulai,
Abashi Fufi, no problem.
Abashi Fufi and a rabbit, one at Tainoni, when you are.
Anyway, Chris, thank you so much for your time. We'll speak again.
Thank you, my brother. Thank you, my brother.
That was Christopher Nimley, coach, CAF certified coach, and football pundit, giving his thoughts on Mo Kudus. 7:51. Okay, let's close out the Mo Kudus conversation. Let me open the phone lines. Open the phone line. 054-257-1061. 054-257-1061. For those who cannot call, send us a message. Or let me tell you something you can do. Take your phone, save this number 054-257-1061. Save it as Sporty FM WhatsApp, and then send us a WhatsApp message every time you want to send us a WhatsApp message as well. So that's something you can do for me this morning. Hello.
Sporty FM.
Hello. Yes. Yes, Michael. Your line is not too good. Can you please reposition yourself small?
Yeah, I'm hearing.
Okay, you talk and let's see if the line will be stable.
Mohammed Kudus is a very good player.
Okay.
And I think his move is very good.
Okay.
And then he should keep up because his next move will be a very big one.
Okay.
But then at the moment at Tottenham, he has only one position to fight for.
Mm-hmm.
That's on the right. His left.
Sorry?
Because I said at the moment at Tottenham, he has only one position to fight for.
Yeah.
And his direct opposition will be against Kulusevski.
Oh, okay. So you think his competition is Kulusevski?
Yes,
okay.
On the right.
On the right, okay.
Yeah, because he's James Matt and Morgan James White. And so the competition over there will be very tough. But then I think against Kulusevski, he's going to go ahead of Kulusevski because Kulusevski is injury prone. Yeah, so I think this will thrive well on the right.
Okay.
But then he has to be consistent. He has to be very consistent because at the end of the day, when he's well, he's going to get higher points. Mm-hmm. And then the England team, they should forget to because number 7 will never face player to an English team. That one there is a fact.
Okay.
We'll be moving outside England, either to Germany or Spain or Italy. So I wish him very well over there. He should be very consistent.
Okay.
Because the Premier League is very tough. For 2 seasons, he has seen it all. So she should be very consistent so that he can move to higher heights. Thank you.
Michael, thank you so much. 054-257-1061. 054-257-1061. This is the Sporty Breakfast. Give me a call. We are talking about Mo Kudus. We'll talk about the women's AFCON in a bit, but I want opinions on Mo Kudus' move to Tottenham. Hello.
Hello, good morning, Nathan.
Good morning. What's your name and where are you calling from?
Gamel.
Gamel, how are you?
Yeah, fine, thank you. Ray, what's up?
Hello, my brother. How you doing?
Yeah,
I'm seeing your business. I'm seeing your business. Man, do and things.
Gabriel, please go ahead, man.
This Mo Kudus, as a Ghanian, I'm happy. As an Arsenal fan, Charlie, it was away.
He's gone to the white side.
Be happy or sad?
Oh, be happy for him. I mean, be happy for him.
I'm happy, but Charlie, he can't score you, bro. But I'm definitely getting in my fantasy team, you know. how we go do it? But looking at the position, personally, I think Kudus performs better when he's in the middle.
Oh, okay.
So let's see. The previous coach likes to Angie. He likes to in his midfield.
Mm-hmm.
The Sar and then the other strong guy in the middle and better Codems. So if you want, they always get yellow cards.
Mm-hmm.
In fact, that part of the game has earned me some coins during like yellow card. That's there's other guy, I forgot his name.
Bissouma, yes.
Yeah, the guy likes to. But Frank, I don't know if Frank will go for Flair in the middle or 1 steal, 1 Flair. So personally, I think 8 or 10 should be okay for Kudus.
Okay.
But with the introduction of Gibbs White, Charlie, it is away. Because the coach is the same coach who has also brought Gibbs White.
Yeah.
And we know James White wants to operate as the number 10 as well. So I'm looking at 8 because the flank Ichoko, we have Johnson, you have Kulu, there's this other small boy. There's one small, is it Odobet or Oda?
Yes. Odobet, the guy they got from Burnley.
Yeah, but as you rightly said, Song now will be used maybe as a spearhead because of age and all that.
So maybe the left-hand side opens up for Kudus, maybe.
Yeah, but we've seen Kudus on the left-hand side. He has not really impressed like that on the left. Yeah, even though he'll play, but getting the numbers is for what we are looking for.
Okay.
But Kudus in the middle all day, every day.
Okay. All right.
So or they're just behind the striker. That's what he can be doing. That is short way on time, but my boss problem come.
All right, Ghanian.
I wish him all the best, though. I wish him all the best.
Okay. All right. We all wish him the best.
After Madueke, we are doing Eze and then Gyökeres.
I see.
That's information is for.
Hey, there's cash. There's money. So you are splashing
money. No. After Arsenal being a broke club, we get money.
Oh, that one is true. Arsenal has never had
huge
money problem.
The spending be the issue. But we get money. Yeah, okay. But now we go spend.
No problem.
You chop second 3 times. 4th time, we can chop second again. Then we go last time. Anyway.
All right. Ghanian, thank you so much. Let's take a few more calls. Then we'll listen to Mo Kudus himself. He's been speaking after he joined Spurs. Let me take one more caller, and then we'll see if we can take some WhatsApp messages. This one says, I think Kudus will do well if he adds defending. If he adds defending to his gameplay. He's shown he can do it, but he needs to up it with Spurs. Okay. John from Wale says we should add Sporty code to the show. But that's why there's Sporty plug. There's Sporty plug. Ray, is now also.
We have to import in Accra. Every morning you give them daily dose.
But that is why Sporty plug exists.
No, so morning before plug.
Oh, Charlie.
They want to get it early.
All right. Let's take one more caller and then we'll hear from Mohammed Kudus. We'll hear from Mohammed Kudus. Hello.
Hello, good morning.
Yes, good morning. What's your name and where are you calling from, please?
I'm Clement from Chichiklapen.
All right, Clement, please go ahead.
Okay, I'm really excited about Mohammed Kudus' transfer, and I think it will really give him a fair knowledge on how the big guys compete. From West Ham to Tottenham, it's a very, very big move. Why do these prophets always come in when concerning these transfer windows? I had one prophet saying, Kamadin Sulemana, then Charlie, they should stop what they are doing. Is it only about football that they can prophesy?
But they've been prophesying on other things. We only hear the football part because football or sports journalists will report on it.
Oh, God. Bye.
All right. We'll hear from Mo Kudus. But let me read this message. This one says, very happy for Kudus. Wishing him all the best. He's a wonderful player, but will only move from good to great when he learns to release other players more consistently. He must be able to play with his head up like Essien and Diarra used to do. Okay, let me take this final caller for the segment and we move on. Hello.
Hello, Nathan.
Yes.
This is Osman.
Okay, please go ahead.
I think it's a good move for Kudus. This is what I was looking forward to. Working with a manager who understands his game and then improve him. My only worry is to learn how to release ball very, very quickly.
Okay.
We know he has the talent to take on players. Sometimes the simple task will help you than to hold on to the ball. I believe he's going to propel his talent to the next level. I'm going to watch his game, the first game against PSG in the World Cup. And I hope he will impress us all.
Okay.
Have a good morning.
All right. Thank you so much for that call. Okay, we'll put a break, or we'll pull the brakes on the calls, but let's hear from Mo Kudus himself after he joined Spurs, or after he was announced as the latest acquisition for Tottenham Hotspur.
I've always wanted to play at the highest level. How big the club is, the history, and the Champions League as well. So it's a big moment. I'm finally here. I'm very happy and can't wait to start. Most important part of why I come here is the project and how the manager sees I can develop under him, where he's come from, and seeing the amount of talent he's developed to become great players. It's a big sign of why, I wanted to work under him as well. I'm a very direct winger, strong, very good in taking players on and creating chances. There's a lot of flair in my game. I like to entertain the fans as well. It's putting a memory in the head of the fans that they have in their head going back home. Fans are really going to enjoy what I'm going to bring to the team. That's what football is about. Moved to Denmark, very big difference in culture. Played there 2 seasons, went to Amsterdam, 2.5 seasons, West Ham, then here. And that's what the journey has been, and using my God-given talent to have an impact on where I'm coming from and change the lives of people and my family as well. It takes a lot of hard work and 24/7 focus to play in a league like this. Every game requires a lot of quality and focus throughout the whole game. So I'm just here using my individual ability to help the team go as far as we can. I'm very team-oriented, so my personal goals lies around helping the team get as much as points we can.
So those were Mohammed Kudus' initial words as a Tottenham Hotspur player. So congrats to Mo Kudus, congrats to his team, congrats to his friends, congrats to his family, congrats to Right to Dream as well. They can tick that off their list and say another one of our boys playing at the highest level. All right, so just to do a proper closeout on this Mo Kudus thing, here's the track again. Stonebody, the customized thing for Mo Kudus as it was unveiled as Tottenham's latest acquisition.
I only wanted Spurs. Play the truck. I don't know that we're champions, that them finna, Who said them a say, them a the champion that me never hear. Kudus say Tottenham and him a go mash it up in every game. He got the pattern and style of as a kick be the name. Get to use from Nima, straight out of Ghana. Rise up the banner.
Tottenham Hotspur, wonderful stuff. We wish him the very best. We'll see him in action through the preseason, the friendlies, the Super Cup. We'll have an idea of how the season will play out for him. See him in the Champions League. We are very, very excited. All right, let's go to Morocco now, where the Black Queens will be playing later today. Yesterday, Nigeria won their game. We'll talk about Nigeria in a second, though. But the Black Queens they will play today. Right? They will play today. They take on Mali in a very, very, very important game. They have to win that game to see or to stay alive in the competition. So that's what the Black Queens will be up to later today. Let's get to the line. Let's speak with our woman on the ground, Abigail Senasusu. She is in Morocco, keeping an eye out on the Queen. She's our arm, our leg, our eye, and everything. Abigail, how are you? Good morning.
Go on. Well, yourself?
Yes, we are fine. We are fine. I can see that Morocco is treating you well, you know?
No.
Anyway, let's talk about the Queens. You were at the press conference yesterday. I'm sure you've seen bits of the team. So first of all, what were the biggest takeaways from the press conference? What were the biggest talking points from Kim Lasby-Okegreen's engagement with the press yesterday?
Well, good morning again to our listeners, and we are fine here. And I will begin from the point that he found that he realized that game against South Africa was just dint of hard luck. That's why we couldn't at least get a point from that game. He himself was impressed with how the girls showed some strength, some grit, and were not showing South Africa too much respect when the game started. But he thought that they were going to at least get a point, like we all shared. It was going to be difficult, that he accepted, because playing against a defending champion would not come easy. And of course, it didn't come easy. But for those two chances, if we had at least gotten the balls in, I'm sure we would have been talking about a different story altogether. So he was equally satisfied with how the girls played, but for the fact that those two missed chances could have changed our thinking right now. He was not too happy with that, and he's also looking to continuing in that energies, and maybe this time around it will not be just missed chances, but they'll be able to convert the many that will fall to them, and then they'll be able to get a win against Mali. He says he doesn't see it as a do or die affair, but he's just getting the girls ready for the task ahead. 3 games in the group. If one is gone, they will look to the 2 at least to get the better points of those 2. Because if we are fighting for 9 and 3 is gone, you can work towards 6. That is equally greater than the 3 that is already gone. So he's looking to fight on. He's focused, and he's been able to get the girls out of that sorrowful, that painful mood of not winning their first game and getting their head in the next one against Mali. So it's still focused, nation, and fighting hard for him. And he believes that he's been able to drum home that message enough for the girls to understand what exactly they are in for. So basically, he was not giving up. He didn't throw his hands in despair. As a manager and as a leader of the playing body, he is still keeping hopes alive, making sure that the girls are equally on that same wavelength with him, just so they have a fresh mind getting into that game against Mali later today. For Jennifer Kudus, the most painful part for her was she watching on the bench while all of that was happening. She had wished that she was a part of that starting 11 or a part of that team that played against South Africa, but she wouldn't take anything away from her colleagues. They did their best, and she's hoping that if she gets the chance, she'll equally get in there and help them to be able to get all 3 points. I asked her especially that what exactly is the conversation like after that defeat? What has been the talking point amongst the playing body? And she said that they have accepted that it is a fight. They are in there for Ghana, for their families and friends that are watching and rooting for them at home. So they have just put themselves together and come together to understand that it's time to forge on. It's time to continue fighting, at least for the people back at home and their families as well who are watching them. Know that most of them are here for the very first time for the national team. And so she also believes that it will be an honor for them if they're able to go ahead and make Ghana proud. But for Grace Asantua, Portia, Sherifa, and Alice Kusi, the girls, they are literally new to WAFCON for the Black Queen. So they are also in there ready to do something for themselves, for their families, and then for Ghana. They want to write history that when Ghana returned after 7 years, they were the ones that were able to at least get to a desired stage or even in the finals. And let me quickly chip in this for Kim Lasby-Okegreen. He says these are some of the things they would have to go through to be maybe in the final, even against Morocco. So, he's very positive and high up there that with how they have started, yes, they didn't get the results, but if they continue like this and the routes that they take be favorable, he believes he could even end up in the final. So It's all about positivity, knowing that all is not lost. 2 more games, possible 6 points to grab out of the group. That is what they are all looking forward to. So the energies are pumped. They are okay. They understood that South Africa were going to come difficult, but however it came, they have taken it in good strides and are looking forward to the next 2 games.
Abigail, I see you have your very good friend Akose J with you. Akose, how are you doing?
Hi, Nathan. I'm fine, thank you.
Wonderful. I'm listening to Abigail. She talks a lot about Kimlas Bjorkegren's positive, vibe, his inclination. He wants the team to be upbeat, blah, blah, blah. Do you think he's doing this because he senses that this team has the potential to actually get something on the board, or is just one of the things coaches say to get everybody happy, to excite fans, to make the players feel good? Is there something concrete in his being positive ahead of the rest of the competition today and that game against Tanzania?
I mean, there are so many positives from what he's been saying or from what the team we have. I mean, unfortunately, or should I say fortunately, we're not battling in the same group with maybe 2 powerhouses where we know that, well, it's going to be difficult against them. We have already had our struggles against South Africa. Looking at the other 2 teams, he knows that it's very manageable. And he's had players that have played for some time now. They really do understand themselves. And I'm sure after the first game, he now knows more into how competitive the players can be, because he's played a number of games before. Yes, they were all friendlies, and so he would want to deploy them differently from when we're playing competitively. And I'm sure by now he does understand how he could deploy players like Gbese, who later on in the game we absolutely saw her not just bossing the midfield, but also trying her best to make some attacks and also progress our attacks as well. And so Grace Asantua, Chantel Holoka, and how she was very forceful in the final third. These are players that the coach now knows that he can really rely on them as the games progress. And Holoka, quite new to the team, so probably he wasn't even expecting that she will put up such a performance. And so with these 2 players, I'm sure he is just looking at deploying them the best way possible, and with how offensive-minded they are, then Ghana will be able to come up against these other countries that we have to play and get the points to the next stage.
Abigail, that second half against South Africa was largely positive. The team played with the handbrake off. They tried getting back into the game. Are we to expect a continuation of that second half? And if we want to do that, do you think that Kimlas Bjorkegren will make changes and start those players, or you believe he will keep the set he started with against South Africa from a few days ago?
I think I carried this message to him from Ghana to the press conference. I actually told him that at the press conference that my first comments to him were not questions, but it's just a message I brought from Ghana that when we watched against South Africa, we enjoyed his second half, and then the changes that he made equally gave us some hope that we can continue. So what I brought is that he should continue from the second half. And he appreciated that feedback as well. Yes, if you sit back, I'm sure for he himself as a manager, he would ask himself a lot of questions, because we have known Priscilla Dubia in time past, and I've always said that sometimes at competitions like this, you do not need someone who is in form. You need someone who has experience to be able to turn things around. We saw when Priscilla came on, she freed Evelyn, and Evelyn started moving about, trying to create chances for herself. That is what we will need up front. Unfortunately, we do not have that luxury of forwards. Doris Bedua, I'm sorry, but sometimes it's difficult to get her focused to the very end. And that early yellow card unsettled her, It put some brakes on her attack. She was now very scared to go forward, and it got to a point, even the Moroccan referee was about to dish a second yellow, but then she realized her first yellow was harsh, and she brought her hand down and left her off the hook. So she got scared at a point and very jittery. So I am very sure we are going to see some of the ladies that came on in the second half starting this game, and I would be very happy if he would allow Priscilla to go up front again, maybe pair Priscilla and then Evelyn Bedu. Evelyn is stronger than Doris in any sense of the word. You know, she's still getting into the football proper. People have said that she's the softie of our national team. You know, she gets the job done on any other day when it works for her. You get her scoring hat-tricks and the rest. But in situations like this, when you need goals at all costs, I would think that he will go for experience above current form. So I will not be too surprised if we see Priscilla Dubia start this game. And also Nancy Amo making a very good statement for the local girls. She has literally had a very great season all on from for Ampem Dako, and she is not relenting. We spoke to her, and I'm sure we'll get to put that video up pretty soon. She even went on to admonish her colleagues back at home that, hey, it is not easy here. So if we want to be a part of the Black Queens and stay, come on, we need to really, really, really work hard. She said it point blank that she's not really had it easy fitting in from where she's coming from. You see the experience and the people that she's playing with. So I would not be too surprised if she gets to start. Maybe Jennifer Kujo might get a part of this game and be in that midfield. I would not be surprised if we see maybe Abambila taking her place in defense as well. Listen, Abambila has been a wonderful midfielder for Ghana from all of our junior teams until came along and decided to try her in that defense. And she's not quivered. She's been out there whenever she's supposed to be. She's just a consistent footballer. So I think we are going to see some changes, and it could be one change in the middle, Jennifer taking her place in there, and possibly Priscilla Dubia getting to start up front in this game for Ghana. So for me, I will not be too surprised to see some of those changes.
Okay, just finally from you and from Akosia, I want a prediction. Ghana's taking on Mali today.
So some of the supporters groups, I think one of them were around. Efson will let you see that pretty soon. They came to cheer the girls on. It was an immediate spark the minute the Queens saw them. You know, it tells you that they really needed people around. They really needed that support, and it was beautiful. It was beautiful how they ended the training session with them. And they say they came to Morocco with a 3-1 victory.
Hey, so they brought the results from Ghana. No problem. 3-1.
I want to stay with them.
Okay.
I want to stay with them. We need it. we need a point. We need a goal. So I will just be in tune with them, and I'll stay with the 3-1.
Wonderful. Because I do have a dissenting opinion.
I don't have the same thing, especially after I spoke with Malian defender Sissoko yesterday after their press conference. And in French, I wasn't understanding. I'm like, where is Nathan to interpret this? But then I had to. So I had to tell her to try to speak the little Anglais that she can speak. And she says, listen, they don't even see themselves as favorites in this tournament. And the fact that all eyes are on Zambia, Morocco, and South Africa, it takes a lot of pressure away from them. It was important for them to get that first win in their group game. And so coming up against Ghana, it's just one thing they want. They just want a win so that they are able to progress and obtain their objective of being in the semi-final. That shook me a little bit, because I was like, okay, what are our Black Queens coming up against? So there's already telling you, all we're hoping for is a win in the game. But then, listen, I saw the team train yesterday. They're in positive spirits. The Black Queens actually understand what it means to get a win in the second game. They very much know that. I mean, when you're talking about the past Black Queens teams and how they go to tournaments, this has been one of the best. 3 different campaigns and all. They actually understand this. They say that they appreciate it so much, and they know that if they win, if they are able to move out of the group, it doesn't just help their set, it also helps the other Black Queens players who will come after them. So listen, I'm just hoping for a 1-0 win for the Black Queens.
1-0, I see. Interesting.
1-0. Just like 1-0.
1-0.
Give me 1-0.
Okay. All win will win.
So 3-1, 1-0 is all 3 points.
We need a point. Even think about goal difference, and also like the 3 points is more important.
I see. Well, ladies, thank you so much. We'll speak again. Abigail, before I let you go quickly, are the ladies allowed? Are the queens allowed to get on social and use their phone and all of that? Are there any rules that have been enforced?
Nathan, don't push me there. Okay,
no, I'm just asking.
So when we visited them yesterday at their hotel before the training, frankly, I did not see any of them with any gadgets. None of the ladies had phones or anything on them. Even en route to training, I didn't see anything like that. So I'm sure our message has been well received. Maybe after the game, at least they would have the weekend to themselves or something, at least a day to rest and then maybe say thank you to families and everything. But frankly, when we got to the hotel, before they went for training, during lunch, walking around, talking around, whatever they were doing, I saw no one with phone or any gadgets whatsoever.
Okay. We wish them the very best then, and we'll speak again. Enjoy the game. I'm sure we'll hear from you during the day. Akosia, enjoy the game too, and all the best.
All the best. Thank you.
All right. That was Abigail Sena Susu, Madame in Morocco, and she had Akosia J of 3FM, 3 Sports with her, and we were speaking with them on the Black Queens and all. Now, the Black Queens play later today in a very important game. Somebody will ask, how important? Well, they need to get points on the board. They need to get points on the board. Very, very important. They need to get on the board. That game is at 4 p.m. The Queens need to respond very, very, very quickly to that opening day loss to South Africa. The other game of the day, we'll see Tanzania taking on South Africa at 6 p.m. Ghana time. Before the encounter, South Africa's head coach Desiree Ellis has been speaking on her team's chances and what it is they want to do later today.
Obviously, we want to get a win to cement our place in the second round, and then the last group game would obviously determine who goes top. But we are seeing the matches over the last couple of days. There's no easy game, and we've played Tanzania before, but that game's out of the window. It means nothing. So we also know that they need to win to stay in the competition. So we need to make sure that, again, we don't concede, because we are going to create opportunities and then take those opportunities, and we need to be a lot more in the attacking third when we are there to take the chance.
South Africa head coach Desiree Ellis, she coaches the Bayana defending women's AFCON champions there, and they are playing against Tanzania later today. So we had the predictions from my colleagues. Abigail says she agrees with the 3-1 that the supporters group said they had brought from Ghana, while Akosia J said a 1-0 result works for her. I don't know, listeners, what you think. You can send me a WhatsApp message, 054 257 1061. 054 257 1061. Send me a prediction. The Black Queens play at 4 p.m. today. So send me a prediction. What do you think the scoreline will be when Ghana takes on Mali later today in the second Group C encounter of the women's AFCON? Yesterday, Nigeria, it looked like they were going to play out a goalless draw, but they had other ideas and they won that game late on by a goal to nil.
That's right. A mini mountain to climb in this game if they are to
So that was Nigeria beating Botswana by 1-0. It was a really tough game. The Nigerians pushed and tried. They were not getting the breakthrough, and then in the 87th minute, they finally managed to get their goal, and they got 6 points to set them up for a place in the quarter-finals. (054) 257-1061. Send me a prediction concerning the Ghana-Mali game. Yesterday, though, Nigeria, they won 1-0. They beat Botswana by 1-0. And then the all North African clash ended goalless. Tunisia 0, Algeria 0 in that particular one there. So today, Group C is on the table. Ghana versus Mali, Tanzania versus South Africa. Ray, I don't know if you have any comments. Calvin Osasan has joined us.
Yeah, well, I shared my thoughts with you on the Malian team and the kind of opposition.
Yes, I remember. Yes, this was when they played before they played their first game.
That's correct, and I think that it's going to be a very difficult game for the Queens. The Malians are not going to be pushovers. The Malians are a very decent side, a very well-drilled side, a very well-organized side. And just like I said the other time, if you are talking about your players playing their trade in Europe and having some top talent in there, the Malians equally have same and even better, with players who have numbers behind their performances for their respective clubs. So it's going to be a very tough game for the Queens. If the Queens can get something out of this game, then they may have to really, really, really punch above their weight, because the odds may favor the Queens because of their pedigree or what they've done in the past as far as the women's game in Africa is concerned. But presently, the Malians have what it takes to stand up to them and even beat them. And that's why I'm expecting the coach to be very cautious of this team. And the Malians are a team that don't like to play with the ball. They don't like to hold too much of the ball, but they pick their moments in games. Very good on the counter-attack, very clinical finishers as well. And that's where the challenge will come in for the Queens. And they have a very good goalkeeper as well. Fatoumata Karentau. Very, very, very good and experienced goalkeeper with lots of experience in there. So, Nathan, it's a game I wish I could call for the Queens, but based on what I know about this Malian team, I think the Ghanaians should be cautiously optimistic of the chances of the Queens against Mali. It's a game they could easily lose. And I think that if we are to get a result in this one, then maybe Ghanian and his charges must really, really go out there and show us a different side of the Queens. Otherwise, the Malians would run away with this one.
Kelvin, your thoughts on the Black Queens? They play later today against Mali.
Well, I think they've gradually sunk. Initially, it was Ghana, Nigeria at the very top. though Nigeria, a number of times made sure that we they dominated us, and they've always been that dominant force. Thinking about how low we sank, we've lifted ourselves up once again. Losing to South Africa may be right, but the circumstances in which you lose and concede is very much important. We watched the game and we saw, the players trying to be very individualistic and opportunistic, and I think that what they showed against South Africa, especially in the first half, the first 45 minutes, was terrible. It was poor. Everyone wanted to play for herself, and there was no teamwork. They couldn't keep it simple. They couldn't, give us, the very best of football that we've seen before under the Black Queens. Maybe Gbese or Santoa, glimpses of that. And there's this girl's name. I can't seem to get his name. Is it Lokao?
Holoka, yeah. Chantel Holoka. I thought she was a bright spot.
Yes, you just get the difference between her mentality, how she's been trained, how she plays football, and the rest of our ladies. Not to say the rest are not being trained or they don't understand, football at this, basic way and how to make things easier. But when they come here, they think they are over superstars. They are like some queens, queens who cannot be touched at the very top. And they tend to make very poor decisions. Doris Wodua is number one. The fact that she's been given the Ghana Football Awards Female Footballer of the Year doesn't mean she's the best. She needs to prove it at this level. The best are playing in the Champions League, Chamaka and Nandozi and the likes, Asisa Tushola. Even with them, they do the simple things. Yesterday, Nigeria, they did not struggle because they were not doing the simple things. They struggled because a resolute Botswana side. If you watch the game, Botswana just sat back in pure organization. Yeah. It had to take the brilliance of Nigeria to beat the offside trap inside the penalty area, just close to the goalkeeper's box, before they managed to get that 88th or 87th minute winner, which gave them a 1-goal victory. Against South Africa, just when we started playing it simple, we started getting goal-scoring opportunities. Our ladies felt comfortable and started shooting. Gbese Santo and likes, Evelyn Bedu. All of them think that, yes, in their own way, they carry the quality to dribble 2-3 players before or take four touches before making the pass. They should go the simple way. They know their capabilities. Once you score 1, 2, your opponent becomes desperate to push for a consolation or an equalizer. And that way, you find lots of spaces which you can capitalize and then get in your goals. I just pray and hope that the ones we've always been speaking about, the players we've always been speaking about with all the experience at several tournaments, this evening will justify why we continue to talk about women football and why the Black Queens deserve better by ensuring they win this evening. And I just hope that Kim would also realize the deficiencies in his team from the first leg, those who were misbehaving. At tournament, if someone misbehaves, it's not a 38, match season. Drop the person, put the person on the bench, and then let others who are capable play. It's more like thinking, this lady is on suspension, so this match I am starting this lady. Work around the entire squad because you sent a squad in which you were confident in. Get the results, and then the one on the bench, when the person comes on, realize that no, come on, I need to do my best. In the first leg, in the first game that England played at the Women's European Championship, they played all their best stars and thinking France did the very simple thing.
Yep.
France did the very simplest things, and they managed to get, the goals or the win in that particular game. And many were asking questions. How did Sarina Wigman do it this time around? It was because she kept a number of the players who she thought, no, come on, they were not helping. Beth Mead was benched.
Yep.
She needed the likes of Elatoun to come on, Lauren Hamp to come on and play. Chloe Kelly had to sit on the bench, and Beth Mead came off the bench, which meant that, yes, you need a team that is balanced. And I just hope that Kim would identify the flaws and get a very balanced team to help us win the games and then progress to the next stage. If this ends in a draw, trust you me, it will be difficult for the team to qualify. And I just hope that it's not going to end in a draw. And the rest of the team, those who are close to Bodua, Evelyn Bedu, talk to them, advise them, let them know what is at stake. They are not superstars. Adjoa Bayo is part of the team. She's the team manager.
Yeah.
She needs to speak some sense into the girls. The ladies, if I say girls, they'll cry. The ladies, speak sense into them. Let them understand what is at stake, the flaws. And once you do the simple things, you can get the victory, and then the entire nation will be proud. So I wish them the very best, and hopefully this evening they won't disappoint in Morocco.
Well, we wish them the very, very best. They play at 4 p.m. This is still the Sporty breakfast. Yesterday at the Ghanaman Soccer Center of Excellence, very, very interesting one. The Nigeria drew 1-1 with the Black Satellites. The Aziz Musbao, he put Ghana into the lead, and then later on in the second half, Abdullahi Mohammed, he scored from a corner kick to level the game for Nigeria and ensure that both teams left with a point. So it was 1-1 involving Ghana and Nigeria. Let's hear from Black Satellites head coach Desmond Ofe. He spoke after the game.
It's difficult to say because in the end you have to do enough to win a game like this. Once again, we have to give it up to Nigeria with their character and determination. Like I said, we lack some maturity in certain moments of the game, but we will improve. And for sure, like I said, against Benin, we have to make sure we get a 3 point. No, I think it should be a motivation because against this Nigerian team, like I said, they should be one of the best teams in this tournament. So they did really well. They should be very proud of themselves. They worked really hard, created enough chances. Once again, like I said, if we're a bit clinical in the first half, we should have won it. But like I said, it's a lesson for us to be clinical, to be more mature in certain stages of the game, and it's going to help us.
So that was Desmond Ofe. Well, Ray, so after the exertions of the AFCON, the Black Satellites are in camp. They are taking part in the WAFCON competition. It's the last thing Desmond will do with the team before he focuses his energy solely on the Black Stars. So 1-1 between Ghana and Nigeria. But that group only has 3 teams. So I think though Nigeria will play Benin. And then I don't know what will happen to the Satellites because once they are not playing,
they'll be resting.
Yeah, it will be interesting to see how they qualify to the next stage, right?
Yeah. So they'll play. So it's still all play, or just that one team gets, and both teams, 3 teams will all get extended rest time. So whilst Ghana,
but the Nigerians
was playing Nigeria, Benin were resting. So Nigeria play, Benin, Ghana rest, and then Ghana play, Benin, Nigeria rest. So it just gives.
So they'll have to sit out and
but
wait for the final group game.
We'll see how things pan out in the competition. I saw quite an interesting lineup yesterday, and if you paid attention to the team, a few of the players who played at the the AFCON Under-20 Championship. A few of them are in there. I think Musba was in that team, and he's still in the team. So yesterday you look at that lineup, and you could tell that coach hasn't moved away too much. You know, there's Gideon Sisiako who started that game. He was also in. He was in Egypt a few weeks ago. Ismailado, who a lot of people to be in that team, was also in that team yesterday, and we saw Aziz Musbah, who we all expected to be there, also there. Interestingly, the back line changed a bit. We didn't see the usual suspects in there, but it's almost like another team that has, you know, lots of new faces. Benjamin Chivanyo was not in Egypt, but he's back in the team. He played in a couple of friendlies, but wasn't taken to Egypt. He's back in the team. There was Samuel Achampo, Foster Petogbo, and then Chumesi Opoku, and then Peter Akwamidu. All of those players are in there. There's Kelvin Ahiaple, Abdul Manaf Ansa, Kelvin Nkrumah, Hayford Edubahin, Shaibu Issa, Benedict Edum, Patrick Atta, Dennis Amaya, Apia Kubi, and Maxwell Azafokwe. Maxwell was supposed to be, he was also one of the players who was supposed to be in that team in Egypt, but he plays for Vision. Maxwell Azafokwe, I think he plays for Vision also. Yeah, he was also supposed to be part, but he wasn't in the quite a much changed lineup. So I asked the question. So between Egypt and now, is it that all those players who went to Egypt have crossed the 20-year age line, or maybe we are trying to groom new set of players who play in the Africa Championship next year. So these new boys, a lot of them are possibly 18 years, getting to 19. I don't know. I think, you know, most of them were foreign international. Yes, most of them. If you look at that list, for the locals, the few locals who are in there, I think we've been able to see a couple of them. But I think it was. So again, we'll play the Wafu B with the local boys when it's time for the championship. Yeah, they will send it. That's what they do. So that's the model we run with this national team. Well, Nathan, wish them well. Kelvin Nkrumah is still on the bench. Yeah, and you ask yourself which players are playing, and so Nathan, we wish them well. We hope to see them qualify for the African Championship. Where is Sharaf? Hey, no, the boy. Michael, I met Mahama. I mean, he's missing from this team. I thought they said it was so good. Okay. So why isn't? Yeah, he should be the one leading this team. Yeah, of course. Yeah, with experience. Why if Sulemana and the likes are not around, he should be the one. He should be in this team. Yeah. Why is it that all of a sudden he's off this team? Oh, but why? What happened for Peter Amidu Akwa all of a sudden to now be part of the team? Yeah. Right? When we complained, some thought we were doing Kelvin Nkrumah is still on the bench. Yes, we have issues, you know, and the publicity for these games. The media officer is our own brother Sheikh Tofik, who's been put in charge. Did you realize until yesterday, maybe when you saw on the social media, did you have any idea after the postponement that the games was coming up? Yeah, but I thought last week, did we not read a story somewhere that? Yes, but generally across the country, no, across the sporting sector, it's been quiet. Exactly, it's been quiet, and that raises lots of questions about our team that is supposed to form the foundation of our future Black Stars. Because if we assemble this team properly, they could be ready enough. They could be ready enough to play and be ready for the next African Games. This is the team you quickly, build ahead of the next African Games that you are going to play. So why are we struggling to put together a team that can, fine, not to take anything away from Nigeria and their resilience in getting back. But I just hope that things are being done right. And even for the future, Desmond is still handling this team. He's not going to handle this team after the tournament. Yes, this is his last assignment. He's been sacked. And with this, he's not been sacked. He's been reassigned. With this tournament, yes. With this tournament, we are looking forward to the future, which I believe that at least it should have the crop
I'll be looking forward to the next Black Meteors team, or some of them getting into the Blacks. I look at this squad and I ask myself, which one of them would you put into the Black Stars? Which one of them?
Bless Ege.
Maybe Ishmaelado and Bless. Okay, Bless.
Bless. Golden Cake. Yeah.
Bless and yes,
fantastic.
Bless and then Ishmaelado from Heart of Lions.
Yeah.
So I'm just praying. You know, a lot of us knew that with what happened in their team at the Africa Youth Championship. This one wasn't
left hungry.
Exactly. They were not too happy. I just hope that this one will yield for us, and the FA, knowing that our youth football, our youth systems have fallen too deep, would just use this as a bedrock for the next. And just like Raymond was asking, Gideon Sesiako, is he going to be under 20 quality in the next year? Because the African Youth Championship and the under 17 is played. Is the Youth Championship played every 2 years? No, it's just the under 17, right? Or the under 20 is part.
That's it, every year.
No, the under 17 now is every year.
And the under 20 is
it's every 2 years.
Every 2 years. Very
that
good.
One hasn't changed.
So if it hasn't changed, I was expecting the under 17 team to play this tournament, keep the core, move them into the next tournament that will be coming up. You build them up. Nothing small. Gideon Sesiako won't be the next under 20 goalkeeper when we go and play the next tournament.
Okay. So you would have gone with, for example, those who just played under 17.
They told us they have now we have under 18, 17, under 19, right?
Under 19. And
what are we doing with the under 18 and under 19s? Where are they? Where are we still using these guys? Don't we want to look at progression? These guys played their part. They failed. Move them away. Build a new team. Let us look forward to the future. Why are we repeatedly making the same mistakes when you have told us that you have under 17, under 18, under 19, before under 20, and you build each group to be ready for the next assignments? Pitami Duakwa, Gideon Sesiako, Benjamin Chivanyomo. They won't be ready for the next under 20 qualifiers or championship. So why are we using them?
So if you say they wouldn't be ready age-wise, they'll be out. They would have.
Raymond, help me. Check the age of Chivanyo for me and Pitami Duakwa. Check.
So Chivanyo played at the under 17. I think 3 years ago. That's when he was scoring.
3.
Yes, that's when he was scoring lots of goals. You remember?
Yes. So
Chivanyo.
How old is he? How old is Pitamidu? How old is Mzibao Aziz? Check their ages for me.
So Chivanyo Asat was born 2008. 28 July 2008. Okay. So he's currently
17.
Yes,
16 getting to 17. So in 2 years he will be there. Pitamidu Akwa.
Yes.
Pitamidu, Mzibao. Nathan, you can help me. You can help me if you can also check from your end.
Okay, you. I get it. I think whatever happens, you will find some players in this crop
who can
fall
play
out. Yes, some may play, some will fall out.
It's the reason why we've allowed someone like the guy who went to play for the Black Stars and got injured, that defender, when he went to UK. The defender.
Yeah, the small boy. Yeah. I remember. He started and then...
Not Anna, no. Ebenezer Anna was the guy
No. He was an under 20 boy.
Yes, under 20 boy, a defender. And he got hurt.
Yes. I watched that.
He's played the under 20 like 4 times. Why?
Yeah.
I know.
Unless, of course, you can't play more than 2. Looking at age dynamics, most people will play it once.
The boy is Aaron this year.
Aaron. Yes, Aaron.
Aaron. Everybody knows Aaron for God knows how long. So it's just that let's give the next crop opportunities. It's the reason why you have lots of talent, French talent, English, Spanish talent cut across, because the under 18 works, the under 17 works, the under 16 works, and once you fail at the tournament, we wipe you off. We come with the next group. This was a great opportunity for this coach, our under 17 coach, Frimpong Manson, after assembling his team to put them together and build for the future.
Sporty FM.
I just hope this works.
Yeah. So
talking about the publicity, it's quite interesting that it wasn't that loud. I was expecting to hear a lot, especially since the games are not being played at any of the popular grounds. Pram, right? So
initially, it was supposed to be at the University of Ghana.
Yes. That is, everyone could have come here.
Yeah.
They could have come here for us to interview them. 24-hour, 7-day a week, all sports station, and they didn't come here.
I'm sure accommodation was going to be a challenge. The FA were not going to deal with paying expensive hotels around to host the boys. So let's quickly move them to Pram. And once the students were still on campus, it was going to be a challenge for them. I'm sure that's why they'll do a few considerations and say, well, Pram has a few accommodation facilities in there, some student mattresses and some bunk beds in there. So let's get them in there.
Chitamidu will be 19 years this year.
Yeah.
So which means he's going to miss out.
Musba is also 18 now.
Musba is 18.
So
which means that he won't be able to play the
19 in December.
Very good. Do you think Lamine Yamal will be sent back to go and play for under 20s or under 21 championship?
No. I think after he got his breakthrough.
Exactly.
Now he's a key part of the national.
Yes, they will send him back. Ethan Wanya, you think they will send him back to under 18 to go and play because he's younger? No. You move on. Create new opportunities. And farmer we are able to me a farmer. Let the rest concentrate on their elite football. If they fail, they fail. If they're able to progress, we move on. Didn't we move on from Charles Taylor, Ishmaelado, and Don Monte, even though they were exploiting under 20? Why? Because when Kofi said, I have a plan, and that development plan worked. Those who managed to progress, they progressed. Those who fell off, they fell off, and we added.
Yeah.
And then we built a new team. When the New Zealand 99 team failed, and Derek and the likes moved to 2001, we progressed. We got some from Derek's team. We got some from 99 to build the core of the Black Stars. But what are we doing now? Wema Feli, they are still there. To what end? Lord have mercy.
Sporty breakfast. Send me a WhatsApp message. We've discussed a number of things today. Mohammed Kudus, Black Queens, Women's AFCON, WAFU under 20, WAFU Zone B under 20. So if anything interests you, send me a WhatsApp message 054 257 1061 054 257 1061. Earlier, I asked you to do something. Take your phone and save that number 054 257 1061 054 257 1061. Save that number as Sporty FM WhatsApp. So if you want to send us a WhatsApp message, then you just go there and send us a WhatsApp message. We would love to hear from you. 054 257 1061 054 257 1061. This is still the Sporty Breakfast. Zero 542571061 054-257-1061. On Sunday evening, the FIFA Club World Cup comes to an end. It's a very interesting competition. The first expanded version. It had several people talking about it, but we are here. 62 games played. A 63rd is upon us this weekend, and it is between Chelsea and Paris Saint-Germain. Chelsea, they beat Fluminense by a goal to nil. Paris Saint-Germain beat Real Madrid by 4 goals to 0 there. Before we do anything, let's hear from, certain interested parties, right? So first, Luis Enrique. This was Luis Enrique speaking after PSG beat Real Madrid by 4 goals to 0 in the semi-final.
Well, it's the first match in this World Cup that we can use Usman as a normal player because he was injured with the national team, and we tried to take care of him. And I think he's the best player this season by a long term. And I think he deserves to win everything because he gave everything to the team, and the team is going to achieve trophies, that which is the most important thing for a club.
So that was Luis Enrique speaking there. Let's hear from Chelsea defender Trevor Chalobah. Trevor Chalobah speaking ahead of the final this weekend.
The same way we've been preparing for every game, and nothing changes. The opponent, no matter what opponent we play, we'll prepare the same, and it'll be exciting playing against, if not the best teams in the world, and we'll be whoever we play, we'll be ready.
All right, so that was Chelsea defender Trevor Chalobah speaking there. Kelvin Owens-Wansai is still here with me. Michael Asari-Bird is joined us. Michael, good morning. How are you doing?
Good morning, Nathan. I'm good. How about you?
Yes. We are fine. So, guys, it all comes down to this. And then there were two left. Paris Saint-Germain and Chelsea, opposite sides of the draw. And they finally got through to the final. This weekend, they meet for the right to be called FIFA Club World Cup champions. Michael, let me start off with you. Just your thoughts on everything that has happened in this competition so far. Just watching it from a journalist perspective here, what have you made of everything we've all witnessed in the last 2 to 3 weeks, I think?
Well, I think it's been an interesting competition. We've had mass participation from clubs across the world, and that exposure alone speaks to what FIFA actually wants to drive home. Mass football development on a mass scale, where it will not just be limited to an elite few, like in the previous format, where you have maybe Real Madrid qualify as the champions of Europe, play barely 3 games, and then they are crowned champions of the world, make good money. And then the African clubs, the other clubs from other continents will have to come, start from the beginning of the competition, play throughout, and won't make as much money as the ones who win it eventually. This brings all the clubs together, start from the same level, and it creates that kind of a leveling platform for everyone to build or grow their game as per their standards. So as it stands now, look at Auckland City, for instance. They've played 3 games at the Club World Cup. They've made good money. They go invested back into their football economy. Then they would become better than they were. The same applies to the 2 clubs from South Korea and Japan, also Hyundai, and then you know that there will be better versions of themselves anytime they are given another opportunity based on the exposure and also the revenue that they were able to generate. So I think on that scale, you would have to look at this and say that it has been satisfactory enough for clubs who have participated in this, judging by where they emerge from, especially the South American clubs, the Brazilian clubs in particular. They have not just come and made some good money, they have also come, showcase the best of talents that they have. For instance, João Arias of Fluminense barely would he have been seen if not for maybe a team that is involved in active scouting deciding to go for a player from the South American market. But the Club World Cup gave him a platform to audition his talent, showcase to the rest of Europe that truly he does possess some football qualities. He got to test his football brilliance against some of the best clubs in Europe. And definitely anybody who watched him close will attest to the fact that he does possess some quality. But it wasn't just him. Hercules, a lot of players. Igor Jesus has secured a transfer from Botafogo to Nottingham Forest. So I think, if you just piece everything together, it has been a successful tournament on that score. The only worries had to do with attendance at some of the games, and maybe the logical reasoning or explanation that FIFA can give is that at the same time that this competition was ongoing, there was another major competition ongoing at the CONCACAF level, which had to do with the CONCACAF Nations League, which Mexico won eventually against US of A, and it was also taking place in the US. So you would have to compete for attendance with such competitions, and it doesn't always work well. The MLS was also in session at that point in time. So you have to look at all these and then maybe you assess the attendance, and I don't think it is going to have any impact in terms of the World Cup because it is a different ball game altogether. The World Cup deals with national teams, and it means that fans of a national side are going to come and watch games. But the Club World Cup was limited to clubs, and it meant that fans of these clubs were more interested in coming to see it. So I think the attendance that we saw, although for most parts wasn't that encouraging, will not necessarily have any impact in terms of the World Cup and the attendance that we are likely to record. Again, this tournament has offered FIFA and then the LOC for the World Cup 2026 an idea about scheduling when to face games within specific locations because of the adverse weather conditions that for some of the games that were played at Club World Cup to be postponed and all that. So it will give them they will take an informed stance as regards scheduling for the World Cup matches, know what to do to avoid such circumstances and all that. And I think, it will help. If you look at everything, the pros outweigh the cons. There are issues around it, but I think that if you are to just summarize everything, I think it's been an interesting tournament and it's been beneficial to the lot who participated or had an involvement in it.
Raymond, stop Mrs. Michael. Raymond is misbehaving here. Just when I was about to ask you a question, he was showing me a funny picture. Oh man, I don't know why Raymond is such a problem child. Anyway, I mean, look, Michael, I agree with you on the pros outweighing the cons. Now, Arsene Wenger, I don't know whether you've seen this story, but let me share some of the story based on the story with you. Now, Arsene Wenger, this is on the BBC, he has responded to Jurgen Klopp's claim that the Club World Cup is the worst idea ever invented, saying that teams are in favor of the fantastic competition. Former Liverpool manager Klopp criticized the tournament in June, which has been moved to the summer and expanded to 32 teams. However, ex-Arsenal manager Wenger, now FIFA's chief of global football development, said the Club World Cup had the full support of the teams, players and managers involved. And he said, quote, "I'm going to give a very boring answer to a very interesting question. Everyone is entitled to an opinion, and I don't share the view of Jurgen Klopp at all. I feel a Club World Cup is needed. If you make enquiries to all the clubs who were here, then 100% of answers would be that they would want to do it again. That's the best answer of what clubs think of a Club World Cup. And the decisive decision is do the fans like it or not? We believe attendances were projected as low, and in reality were much higher. The answer is there." Then he went on to talk about dealing with heat and improving the pitches before the next World Cup, which will have a lot of the games in the US. He said, quote, "The heat in some games was a problem, but we tried to combat that with cooling breaks, watering the pitches during the break, and overall, I feel we learned a lot on that front. In 2 different venues, there was a problem. One of them was Orlando, but we shouldn't underestimate the quality of the permanent pitches, or permanent being real grass pitches. The grass is a bit different here. It's a bit harsher or more resistant than in other countries. The pitches were flat, but once we watered the grass, everyone was happy. Certainly next year in stadiums, there'll also be more with roofs and the TV times will be more sensitive. At the same time, the weather conditions can be a problem for everybody. Then he said, I asked the analysts to analyze the impact of the heat. We found heat of over 35 degrees had an impact on high speed running, so sprints, not distances. You have to be equipped to deal with it, end quote. So those are the thoughts of Arsene Wenger. I guess he says the clubs like it, he says the fans liked it, and that there are things to correct ahead of next year's World Cup, just like you indicated. So I think we can all assume that this Club World Cup is a very true dress rehearsal for the next World Cup, and we wait to see what will happen.
Yeah, definitely. And like I said, a lot of things for FIFA, the LOC to learn from. The issue about pitches and everything. You see, the complaints even started from the last Copa America tournament that was played. Most of these countries were complaining about the nature of the pitches, and they were surprised that they were actually newly installed grass and the technology used and everything, but they were surprised that it did not really offer them that optimum feeling when they used it. And so I think it informed maybe some decisions that would have been taken. You know that Wenger was speaking to when the conditions were very harsh, they had to water the pitches and then they were good to go. So all these things will sum up, they will take note, and then they will work on them. And then they have, let's say, like enough time to work on the lapses that they've encountered so far in the competition. About scheduling, there were times where the games that kicked off at 4 p.m. here were around lunchtime kickoff in the US, and it was very hot. Most of these clubs were complaining, particularly the European clubs. They will take note of this, they will work on it, they will improve on it. And I wouldn't have been much more satisfied if we had played this competition with little complaints. I would not have enjoyed it, because it is to expose what is actually wrong, correct them, and become better the next time. And there's actually a novel competition. Previously, the Club World Cup was played among very few clubs, and so you don't really have mass participation. This gives you like 32 teams competing in group stage matches, knockout phase games. So a lot of games, a lot of teams, you have to deal with all that. So it will expose certain angles that perhaps FIFA's focus wouldn't have been on, but now it draws their focus and it draws their attention to it, and then they're able to tackle it. Trust me, the next FIFA Club World Cup will be better than we are witnessing now. And it will be because of some of these complaints, these reasons that have been espoused by the connoisseurs of the game. And then again, this also helps to prepare better for a much more enjoyable FIFA World Cup. So I agree with you. It is the perfect dress rehearsal for the FIFA Club World Cup. And FIFA World Cup, sorry. And it fits into the narrative because they had to excuse the Confederation Cup for this FIFA Club World Cup. And the Confederation Cup was then known as a dress rehearsal for the World Cup proper. And so now, with you staging not national teams having their own competition, but clubs, I think it fits into the narrative. And to me, it has been good. If you are to rate it, it has been good. We've also seen some interesting football played by some of these teams. The Brazilian teams, for instance, they gave us some wonderful memories. Botafogo 1, Paris Saint-Germain 0. It will mean that in PSG's absence and their rise to form, the only team to have beaten them as it stands now is a club from Brazil and the champions of South America, and that is Botafogo. We've seen Flamengo dish it out Chelsea. We've seen Benfica upset the odds and beat Bayern Munich. We've seen quite some interesting results, not forgetting the Al Hilal versus Manchester City game. We saw Al Hilal again against Real Madrid. I think overall, if you have to look at some of these instances, it would be very unfair on the part of anybody to say that it wasn't worth it for us to play the Club World Cup. It has been definitely worth it, although there are issues with it. And I feel these are issues that with time we can work on and improve. And that is how football has been. It has always evolved and improved along the line. And that is how this competition will also grow. It is just football.
Well, we'll see how it goes. We'll wait for the next 4 years or so to get the next edition. I don't know if by then Ghanaian clubs would have put themselves together to have a shot at qualifying. But there's a final on Sunday, the right to be called Club World Cup champions and the opportunity to walk away with what, $120 million. I think that's what is on the table in terms of prize money, in addition to everything that the teams have won. Ray, let me bring you in. Chelsea v PSG. Let me start off. Just initial thoughts on that, and then I take Michael's thoughts and we can proceed.
Yes, Nathan, I think that PSG for most part of the tournament showed why they were champions of Europe, or showed why they became champions of Europe, continuing from where they left off. Apart from that slip against Botafogo, they clearly made light work of the teams that they came across. There was Atletico Madrid, they swept aside. There was Inter Miami, there was Bayern Munich, and Real Madrid as well. So they played some very good teams in the tournament, teams that could have eliminated them if they were not at their best. And so you look at them and say, well, they just continue from where they left off. But Nathan, there's something interesting. Almost every team, apart from Chelsea, that won the Champions League in recent times, have gone on to win the FIFA Club World Cup. Play in the semi-final and then play in the final and then lift the trophy. Only when it got to the turn of Paris Saint-Germain, for some strange reason, there was a new look FIFA Club World Cup, giving them so many more matches to play. But they've held their own very well. The consistency is there. The momentum seems to be with them. It's almost like a continuation of the season they've had. And so I'm not surprised they are still in this form, even at this time that lots of clubs are complaining about being tired. But that's said, I think that this PSG team are a very well drilled side. You look at their coach, Luis Enrique, and it amazes me that Enrique, for the time he was off and when he thought of coming back, some of the very big clubs in Europe never went for him. Very big clubs. So I think Chelsea at a point were interested in him. Chelsea just couldn't agree with some of the transfer proposals he had in mind. You know,
he wanted, I think, control. He wanted he wanted to be very hands-on with the transfers.
You know, and even for his former club FC Barcelona, they did not consider bringing him back. You know, so it amazes me that for a manager of his quality, having won the treble with Barcelona, almost everybody forgot about him so soon, especially after his not too good stint with the Spanish national team. So PSG going in for him was a big steal. And the kind of decisions he took at Paris Saint-Germain since joining, how he allowed Kylian Mbappe of all people to go. He wanted to go, and the coach wasn't opposed to him leaving. The coach actually allowed him to go, and we've all seen what he's been able to do with the likes of Dembele, the likes of Doué, and even Kvaratskhelia coming in late. You know, so I think that everything about that PSG team is Luis Enrique, and he's drilled that side very, very well. Now they come up against a team that's also on the rise, a team that is undergoing a bit of metamorphosis, that Chelsea team. Now, Enzo Maresca definitely came in quite a huge reputation, especially because of what he did in the championship. And so everybody was expecting him to come in with a certain identity, a certain style of play. To a certain extent, he had a fairly successful season. At a point in time last season, there was talk about Chelsea possibly winning the English Premier League title. He came out quickly to say Chelsea were not ready. But at the end of the season, he found a way to get them in top 4. Now, he did all that without the benefit of a transfer window that he would have controlled. Okay. Now he's gone into the transfer market, brought in players that he believes can do the job for Chelsea, brought in some decent signings, and we've already seen some of them paying off already. Pedro is already paying off. So you again look at what he's trying to build at that Chelsea with that Chelsea team, and with the kind of players that he has at his disposal. I think that again in this tournament, you can talk about the opposition they faced, and you can make the argument that, well, they didn't face the kind of opposition a team like Paris Saint-Germain faced. So you look at their opponents. Yes, they played against teams like Fluminense. They played teams that you wouldn't say teams that should cause problems for them. Apart from Flamengo, that shocked them. Everybody was surprised. Flamengo gave them a shock. But they played Los Angeles FC. They played Esperance. They played Benfica. played Palmeiras. I think they lined up the Brazilian contingents, and they played, I think, 3 Brazilian teams and lost to 1. So you compare the kind of opposition they faced to the kind of opposition PSG have faced, and you could just tell that, well, sometimes you need the luck of the draw to advance in tournaments, and they benefited from that. Now they come up against a team that's very, very well drilled. And to be fair to Chelsea, I think that Maresca is still trying to figure out who his best players are. He's still trying to figure out how he's going to shuffle the pack next season. He tried it against Flamengo and they were beaten. And so Chelsea are still in that phase where they are trying a few things here and there. And that's where you could say asking them to go and beat Paris Saint-Germain, a team that's already set in their ways, a team that have a well-defined way of playing, a team that has a coach who understands and knows how to manage his opponents. I think that they would go into that game trying to give up their best, trying to win. But where they would fall a bit short would be the consistency or the team chemistry in the squad. That's where I think they would struggle a bit. In the game against Fluminense, he had to take individual brilliance to get them to the finals. Okay, those 2 goals from Pedro clearly got them into the finals. Against Paris Saint-Germain, can Pedro have that same performance? Can he deliver same? Can, say, Palmer be the man to be the game changer? Can he steal the show? It won't be a one-man night against Paris Saint-Germain. And that's why I think that Paris Saint-Germain are slightly ahead of Chelsea in terms of momentum and in terms of player quality, and again in terms of how long they've been together, the telepathy in that squad. That will be the key difference maker in that game in the finals. And so Chelsea up to this point have been decent, they've been good, but I think at the final hurdle they'll need a bit more to be able to stop this Paris Saint-Germain team. And I think that it may come next season when the team is well organized, when the team is well drilled, when the coach now finally knows who his best players are, who his best starting 11 are, and is able to get them to play the way he wants them to play. Until then, I think that the PSG game will be a very tough one for Chelsea, and they might just struggle to, get the better of PSG and win the trophy. I think that the trophy is PSG's to lose.
I see. Kelvin, before I go back to Michael.
Well, it's a big night on Sunday for Chelsea, or a big evening, depending on where your time zone lies. Just like Raymond was saying, the luck of the draw. I always say that you only eat what is put before you. It's not about the luck. What is the luck of the draw? You eat what is put before you. If you are good enough, win the games. Chelsea neutralized the Fluminense team, who actually caused a lot of our sending 2, European clubs away from the championship. But Chelsea managed to make sure that they kept every threat that the opposition had, and they scored twice against them to win that game. Going into the final, on any day, not on any day, will I think of Chelsea beating PSG. But if you look at finals that Chelsea plays in, with the exception of that Manchester United final,
2008,
which they lost out on penalties thanks to John Terry, and was it Nicolas Anelka? Yes. All the other finals they make sure that they come out tops. The one against Bayern Munich, when everyone thought everything was over, Didier Drogba out of nowhere got it, and the Europa League, the UEFA Conference League success, the game against Arsenal. Everyone was saying Unai Emery is a master of European club football, the Europa League, and was going to whitewash Chelsea with his Arsenal team. And let's not forget, Arsenal had the weapons that they could have used to hit Chelsea. But how did the game end? To the point that Olivier Giroud, who was a reject at Arsenal, who Arsenal decided to send away, became the cornerstone of the Chelsea team. I look at this PSG team and they look almost complete. The game against Real Madrid had their own flaws, but you look at how they set up the team, how the build-up is, how this is way. All of a sudden, people have kept quiet about Lamine Yamal. Is it because they are not praising or they are not highlighting Desiree Doué? Why? Doué has done everything he has to do this season, or because the French league doesn't have that prominence,
Maybe.
it doesn't have the PR machinery to work for him. But if you put everything together, he's better on any day this season. He's been better. I look at the PSG team, and I don't even look at Vita Kvaratskhelia at this Club World Cup. Everything has been Desiree Doué.
That's true.
Causing trouble left, right, center, especially in that game against Bayern. He caused trouble until he managed to score a goal. He was difficult to handle. Maybe people know about Kvaratskhelia, they know about Ousmane Dembele, they know about Vitinha, they know about João Neves. But the two most important players who decide to just work magic for PSG that go unnoticed, Fabian Ruiz. For him, he has gone unnoticed since that European Championship. Many don't talk too much about him. But you look
Fabian
at
Ruiz was a key part of why and how Spain even won the Euros. Yeah.
I even expected him to be player of the tournament, but just like we say, the PR machinery, Rodri got it.
Yeah. Ruiz
you look at him,
very important player.
He's a brilliant and intelligent player. I look at him and I just mark it up with Matuidi in the French team. From 2016 coming down till they got wiped off entirely. He's that figure. Doué does that magic for them as well. I think Chelsea have now a focal point who they can rely on, that when Enzo Fernandez plays a forward pass, when Cole Palmer lays a forward pass, when Christopher Nkunku decides to make a dribble, make a forward pass, and a live wire in Pedro Neto decide to make deliveries inside the penalty area, they have a target man whose eye is just for the goals, unlike Nicholas Jackson, who wouldn't be reliant. Now they have Delap too on the side. If you have a team like this, then you know that when I go direct, I know the questions I am going to ask my opponent. Chelsea's only problem or deficiency for me, which I think is in their defense. They concede lots of chances. And if you do that against PSG, they won't spare you. They score all across. Mendes is scoring. Ashraf Hakimi is scoring. João Neves has started scoring. Vitinha will hit from afar. Fabian Ruiz will find himself in the final third. Desiree Doué will score. Kvaratskhelia hasn't been too productive and efficient this campaign, but who knows if he's going to turn up in the final. And then Ousmane Dembele with his left and right foot. The only PSG player who is on serious in the final third is Bradley Bakola.
That's why he starts from.
Yes, on serious player. That's the most unserious player in the PSG team. And Arteta wanted him, fine, maybe for the dribbles and the dazzling, but for end product, he's the worst. If you have a team like this and you concede lots of chances, Levi Colwill thankfully will be coming, but it won't stop them from conceding. It won't stop them from conceding those chances. It will now be left to PSG whether they are going to take their chances. And let's not forget, Chelsea have a very, unassuming goalkeeper. On a day where you think this is my number one, he's going to save me, that is when he decides to leak goals. Like you've gone to the beach to fetch water with the basket. That is him. The woven basket. He's a woven basket in the post. If it's solid, he will pick it up. But if it's fluid, forget. It will pass through his hands. And with this PSG team, they are going to give him lots of fluid. How will Chelsea manage to stop the fluid from getting to the goalkeeper? If they're able to do that, now it would be on the opposite end how they are also going to ask questions of that PSG team and finally beat Donnarumma. When Donnarumma got to PSG fresh, he wasn't that man.
No, he wasn't at all.
But he has grown and developed. And I think it's typical with Italian goalkeepers.
As recently as a year ago, PSG had plans of shipping him out.
It's typical with Italian goalkeepers. Talk about Toru. He got better when he was aging. Gigi Buffon wasn't praised like that until he got into his 30s. Yes. Now it's same with Donnarumma. He's aged before becoming a fine wine. Chelsea will now have to test him, and that's why everything points to a PSG win. But I am up for surprise and a very tight game, which I believe that Chelsea, Enzo Maresca would offer that. He's a very intelligent manager. Many are not seeing that. But if you look at the Chelsea team he's building, now he's getting to that point where the squad depth is good enough to serve him two different quality, with the exception of his central defense. He has very good players. Malo Gusto, Reece James. They are like for like. It's not bad like that. Maybe on the left hand side, that when you talk about, if Kukurea is out, which player will just step in there and give me, the work rate and the effort that Kukurea will put in the game. In midfield, if Caicedo is not there, they have Romeo Lavia. And even that small boy, what's his name? Andre Santos. If Enzo is not there, that Andre Santos steps in there. They have enough players within that central position to cause havoc against anything. But for PSG's, dominance and dynamism and vibrancy, if the likes of Arias from Fluminense, there was this guy who came on, Lima. If those players are able to work around that Chelsea midfield, you don't expect Vitinha and then João Neves to find difficulty in working around the Chelsea midfield, which I believe that they are going to do it. I tip PSG to win. It is going to be another high scoring game.
Game. I said over 3.5 in the second semi-final. And we got 4 goals.
We got 4. This time I expect over 3.5 goals again.
Hey, baby.
Yes. PSG won't score less than 2. They have been winning their knockout games, or the games that they've won, a minimum of 2 goals. They score it. And do you think this Chelsea team can stop them from scoring twice? And do you think they can stop them from scoring twice? I'm giving Chelsea that option to, that against all odds, to also score. But PSG have won their last knockout games with an aggregate of, it was 14-0. Now it is 18-0. They didn't concede against that Real Madrid attack.
Yeah, they didn't.
So it tends to ask a lot of questions. Can Chelsea be able to stop them and even score at the opposite end?
Well,
5-0 against Internacional, very solid team with that all the defensemen you talk about, and now a 4-0 victory against Real Madrid. Will Chelsea be able to stop them? That is the question. And I think PSG, no matter how Chelsea will try to stop them, they'll come up tops in scoring more.
Wow. Michael, do Chelsea have an answer for PSG over the weekend? Kelvin highlights Chelsea's backline, that central defensive area, and he says, or he believes, it could be a big burden for Chelsea over the weekend. What can they do to stop PSG? That is, if stopping PSG is even possible in the first place.
Well, I think Chelsea has something that maybe all the other opponents that PSG has dismantled, which we've highlighted as part of these discussions, don't have, and that is the midfield. If I'm not exaggerating, I think Chelsea has one of the best midfield sets in Europe currently, and even in world football. PSG's strength and how exciting they are to watch is mostly engineered from the middle. There are 3 midfielders in Fabian Ruiz, João Neves, and then ultimately Vitinha are mostly the artists in the team. They are the orchestrators. They paint that fine art in terms of the football that they display. And if there was any team as close as stopping them from operating in a manner where they are too comfortable, that they set the tempo, dictate the rhythm and everything, then I think it is just Chelsea midfield. If everybody is fit and available, talk of Romeo Lavia, Enzo Fernandez, and then Moises Caicedo, I think they can give Paris Saint-Germain a very good value for their money. They will give them a tough fight in the middle. And again, the attack. PSG have some of the delightful attackers currently in the game. Very young, very enterprising, and they are all players who can weave a bit of magic at any moment. And Chelsea have similar in their fold. João Pedro just showed us how brilliant he is, although it is early days yet. But we can't forget that Pedro Neto has been one of the standout performers in this competition. There is Cole Palmer, who has started to come to light. And so if you look through, Chelsea also have a very good selection. The only issue I would agree with Kelvin has to do with the defense, primarily the goalkeeping department. And that is where the biggest concern is, where Donnarumma gives that surety, gives that assuredness that he will help you to prevent goals. There is this conundrum around Sanchez, that you don't know which version of Sanchez will show up, not just in a game, but at any moment. He can start a game very well, then at the spur of the moment, he commits an unforced error, then he concedes a big chance, which opponents will have to attack Chelsea from. He's a decent shot stopper, but not in the class of someone like Donnarumma, Manuel Neuer. And that has been Chelsea's bane. And the whole thing about PSG is that we all know they can play some very good football, but their biggest strength is what they do without the ball, especially how they trigger their press from the front. There was this picture I saw that had Dembele right on his mark, ready to press in the game against Real Madrid. They were leading 3-0.
Yeah.
But he was ready to trigger the press. Immediately Madrid started their build-up from the back. And if you look at the Chelsea team statistically, they are the team that plays the most short passes. In terms of long passes, they don't. So it is obvious that Chelsea are going to try to build up from the back. And how effective and how hard-working this Paris Saint-Germain team is when they want to trigger their press is actually where I think the issue lies. So if it is about overall play, midfield battles, and then the forward players also throwing in what they can offer, I think Chelsea can match Paris Saint-Germain. But it is the work rate of the ball. Which team will work the harder when they are not in possession? Which team will be much more effective when they have to press and regain? And PSG has showed that they are more effective at this than Chelsea are. The statistics prove that. And the evidence is in the kind of impressive results that they've been able to record and the kind of goals that they scored from there. But it is not to say that Chelsea are not also good pressers of the ball. They have scored the most goals from fast breaks in this competition, 6. It tells you that they're able to press at any point in time, win possession, and then score. They did that in the game against Fluminense. João Pedro won the ball. It was a high turnover. He won it, initiated that move that eventually led to him scoring the first goal. Chelsea, Flamengo, Pedro Neto, again, profiting from a press and regain scenario. He went on to score. But I think that this game will be mostly decided by which team does its work effectively without the ball, and that will decide the winner. And I do agree, it is going to be an interesting game. We'll see goals. Chelsea will score, Paris Saint-Germain will score, but I repeat what I said earlier. The team that works the harder or the hardest without possession will carry the day.
Quite interesting. I mean, as for the PSG press, I was watching that game I was watching that game when they took on Real Madrid, and you were right. 3-0 up, Desiree Doué and Ousmane Dembele were standing at the edge of the Real Madrid penalty box, waiting to trap somebody, waiting to get Real Madrid to commit, so they pounce on a player and take the ball away. So it will be a very interesting bit about how Chelsea deals with this PSG press, Chelsea's own tendencies to want to pass the ball short, and they are almost like the attempt to try and play through the PSG press. It will be a fascinating tactical battle. It will be a very, very interesting tactical battle Sunday night. All right, so Sunday night, what are we doing? Well, we'll give you a live experience, a live viewer experience. We are going to the ANC corner Sunday night for the final of the Club World Cup. We'll be at the 957 Daiquiri Bar at ANC corner. So that entire space, just catch us there. Our main hub will be 957 Daikri Bar, but that entire space, we'll lock it down Sunday night. So be on the lookout. We are sharing all the info, but Sunday night we are going to 957 Daikri Bar and restaurant. Just join us there at ANC Corner. That entire space is ours. Sunday night. Live viewing. PSG versus Chelsea. The Club World Cup final. Now just get to ANC. For those who are wondering, you know there's ANC Mall. No, we are not going to ANC Mall. We are going to ANC Corner, the small place close to the Boundary Road. Where you know that side, right? It's close to the Boundary Road.
Close to the East Legon Men's Fitness Center. Just around the East Legon police station.
Just around the East Legon police. So the police station is on this other side.
Yes, on this
and then
side.
ANC Corner is on this other side, right?
Yeah.
So yeah, that's where we are going. Sunday night, we are going to ANC Corner. Just look at, we'll flood the socials with all of that for those who are wondering what we are doing Sunday night. We are going to 957 Daikri Bar on Sunday. But that entire space will be ours. So there are different vendors, but our main hub will be 957. So come around. See, 957, they have great stuff. For those who love to drink things, Ray, they have drinks for you.
Water.
Lovely drinks, juice, cocktail, no problem. Immortal to enjoy. I'll make sure they give him something nice.
Eustace will take care of Ayamga.
And Eustace will take care of Ayamga. Yeah, he'll give him a nice daiquiri, a nice strawberry daiquiri. Wonderful stuff. So that's where we are going. ANC Corner, 957 Bar, East Legon. Sunday night for the viewing. Club World Cup final. All right, 9:38. All right, let's get into the Greater Accra Super Zonals. It's been happening at the at the University of Ghana Stadium. Interesting stuff. So we've had that for the Ashanti region, and then we have one for the Greater Accra region. My colleague David Kofite has been following that. It ended on Thursday. My colleague David Kofite has been following this Super Zonals, and he's put together this report.
For 2 exciting days, the University of Ghana Stadium was transformed into a cauldron of youth energy as the 2025 Greater Accra Super Zonals unfolded. From the crack of the starter's pistol to the final whistle in the football matches, the events showcased the ambition and talents of hundreds of students determined to etch their names into regional sporting history. At the heart of this spectacle stood St. John's Grammar School. Their athletes dominated both boys and girls divisions, leaving no doubt about their status as a region's athletic powerhouse.
We feel excited because we are always winning this, so we know Charlie this year to win. Yeah, but we feel good, and we thank God for that. Yeah, and this back-to-back for over 3 years, back-to-back.
I'm very excited, very, very excited, because we have been winning a lot, but this one is more than ever.
They amassed 5 gold medals and 3 bronze medals in track and field events alone. From sprints to relays, their yellow and blue vests seemed always to be in front, setting the pace for the rest of the competition. Among the standouts, Ilyasu Aisha emerged as one of the undisputed stars. In the girls' 100-meter sprint, she surged past her rivals with calm authority and later anchored the 4x100-meter relay team to gold.
Let me see, I'm so excited, and I mean to win. I'll work hard towards it, and
I can, and I will.
Meanwhile, her schoolmate Abdul Rauf lit up the boys' sprints, clinching victory in both 100 meters and 200 meters finals with blistering finishes.
It's something great because now I can see the whole of Greater Accra. I'm the best 200 meters runner.
Their remarkable performances were no accident. Coach Francis Kofi Atta credited much of their success to meticulous preparation.
So what I did was, as a coach, since we don't have tartan, I have to take them to tartan because we use cinder. I've been using, that's where we do our inter-houses. So I decided to bring them here for 1 week.
Adding to the sense of legacy, Headmaster Sebastian Adama was quick to acknowledge the foundation laid by his predecessor.
With such performance, every leader will be very proud. I saw the potentials in them when we went for the inter-school. And so I said that, no, we have to encourage them. The only thing they needed was encouragement and motivation. I want to give the credit to my predecessor because he did all the work. I'm just 2 months old in the school. And if this is happening, it is because of the foundation he laid.
While St. John's Grammar took center stage, their competition remained fierce. Just behind them, Temasinya High School emerged as formidable challengers. Their campaign was powered by standout performances from Idi Sinanu and Stephen Anetri Kofi. It is double triumph in the girls' 800 meters and 3,000 meters races cemented her reputation as one of the finest distance runners of the meet.
I feel good. It's easy. Because those who I'm competing with, they are not fit. So it's so easy.
In parallel, Stephen conquered the boys' 5,000 meters final in a display of relentless endurance that had spectators on their feet.
It's great winning, so I'm happy. Greatest aim is to compete for Ghana. That's my country.
Adding further excitement to the track, Adansinya High School captured both hearts and headlines. Their third-year sprinter, John Adjoato, electrified the stadium, leading Adan to victory in the boys' 4x100 meters relay before finishing second in both the 100 meters and 200 meters finals. Reflecting on his races, he compared his style to that of Usain Bolt, a fitting tribute to the Jamaican icon.
The running performance is good. It's good. I was very, very happy to run. Once a legend, always a legend. So I learned from Usain Bolt and those things. Yeah, I like the way he sprints. Yeah, I just like Usain Bolt.
Rounding out the trilogy of top-performing schools, Adan School demonstrated impressive consistency. Coach Ebenezer Kise attributed their results to careful planning and preparation, while singling out John as a special talent who raises everyone's game.
I think for the past 4 years, the performance has been consistent and very good. You know, initially we were having something like a sustainability plan. And so once we did that thing, consistently we're having the performance. Very special. He himself is disappointed because this year he vowed at least to catch the eye of the National Selection Committee. He's one who tries to train without even a coach. He tries to train on his own. He watches videos, he watches the Jamaicans, some of them, just to be like them. And so he's always motivated.
Beyond the track, field events produce their own share of heroes. In the high jump, Elisha Atto of Ebenezer Senior High School soared to 1.80 meters to secure victory.
I feel like doing this, so I went to my fans and told them that I want to do this for the school, so they should all support me. I had a dream about it, so I tried to make it, so I've made it too.
While Joyce Frimpong of O'Reilly cleared the bar to claim gold in the girls' final. The long jump saw Richmond Atta of Wesley Grammar sail 6.53 meters, and Ebenezer Na Tete triumphed in the boys' discus throw. Over in the short put ring, Sandra Ametepe of Ganata Senior High School proved unstoppable. The sprint and middle distance races continue to thrill the crowds. Timu Senior High School's Francisca Benewa dominated both the girls' 200 meters and 400 meters races with commanding performances. Teshi Presek's Ishmael Ahmed brought home gold in the boys' 800 meters. Later, Ebenezer Senior High captured the boys' medley final, while Presek boys outran all challengers to win the 4x400 meters relay. While the athletics overall held much of the attention, football provided its own drama on day one. In the boys' final, Kaneshi Senior High Technical School edged past O'Reilly Senior High School 3-2 on penalties after a tense deadlock in regulation time.
Coming to the final, we already planned that we were going to take the cup. So we have already prepared the players that it's either win or we are not going back. Going forward, we expect to build a better team. Since this is a school team, most of the guys are leaving.
The girls' championship match was no less intense, with Amasaman Senior High School securing a hard-fought 1-0 win over Adan Senior High School.
As we are about to start, I motivate my team that as for this year, we are about to complete school, so we need to take this cup so that the school can remember us as a year when we are completing school.
Meanwhile, in the stands, the carnival atmosphere never wavered. Drums and songs poured from the clusters of supporters, painting the stadium in a vibrant mosaic of school colors. As the sun sets on the final day, organizers expressed their satisfaction with how smoothly the event had run.
I must say on record that for about 8 to 10 years now, we have never had a Super Zonal competition like this. You know, in 2019, we went for basic, and then after that, COVID. Since COVID came, we have never had a major competition like this. We made ourselves that this year, we were going to have the Super Zonal, and we went through thick and thin. And I'm very happy, I'm very impressed with the level of officiating, with the level of competition.
Looking ahead, Greater Accra's finest athletes will soon set their sights on an even bigger stage, the National Super Zonals. There, they will carry the hopes of their region, determined to prove that their dominance extends far beyond this unforgettable week.
Sporty FM.
So that was David Kofite's report on the Greater Accra Super Zonals. And David is here. David, good morning. How are you doing?
Good morning, Nathan.
Wonderful. You were there. You saw all the action. I mean, the report gave us an idea, but how was it like as you were watching things unfold?
I think that it was good. It was fun. They started the whole thing at the Elwak Sports Stadium. So in the entirety, it was like a 6-day competition, but then they did 4 days at the Elwak Sports Stadium and then came to complete the rest or the next 2 days of it at the University of Ghana Sports Stadium. What I observed obviously tells me the youth sports is still somewhere lingering, and authorities need to give much more attention to the younger ones who are now trying to cement themselves in the sport that they want to grow to become stars in. The Greater Accra Super Zonals gave everything. No records were broken, but then or set, but then there were some exciting athletes, standout athletes that emerged from the competition, especially with St. John's Grammar, who were adjudged the best school in the girls and then the boys divisions. The likes of Ilyasu Aisha and then Raouf from that fold excelled beyond everyone's imagination. The likes of John Ajato from Adan School. They all show that there's something that is in them, and if they are given much more attention, they will come good for the country. So I believe that for everything that went down, what we can take out of it is that these guys would be selected, and then to face the best from the other regions, because there were other zonals from the Ashanti region, the western side of the region as well. So I think that all of these champions will come together to compete at the national level.
Okay.
And I believe that Greater Accra has put together some really good performers that can compete well at the national level. So this is like basically how everything went down.
I see. Were there, I mean, you've mentioned all of that, but were there any personal standout moments for you as you covered the Greater Accra Super Zonals?
Yeah, I would say there's this guy from Ebenezer Senior High School. He was competing in the high jump.
Okay.
He thrilled everyone in the stands. He jumped 1.80.
Okay.
Which I think that at his age and what he was able to do shows that he has the potential of becoming one of the best for the country.
Okay.
Among his competitors, obviously you could see that he was way above them. He wasn't too tall,
okay,
but then what he could do by jumping that height shows that he's someone that we can have a close look at, and then nurture to become one of the greats for the country.
Mm-hmm. Any other?
I think at dance school, for instance, the whole athlete set that they brought, they were too good. They were too good, especially in the 4x100 relay. They were somewhere around like third position.
Okay.
Until the guy that had to take the final 10 to give the baton to the one that will finish.
Okay.
He literally blazed them on the curve, and that is what won them that race. And I think that it was one of the exciting moments on the final day, knowing that they were able to clinch gold in the 4x100 relay.
Okay.
I mean, it didn't look like it, but at the death of everything, they were able to get the gold out of like the 4x100 relay. There was also like a lot of talk going into the men's or the boys 100-meter final as well. But eventually, St. John's won it. It looked like it was going to go to a dance school, but I mean, St. John's mastered the whole thing and were able to clinch gold in the 100 meters as well. So these are some of the standout moments.
Sporty FM.
I see. Just finally, I noticed that it wasn't only athletics. Initially, when I heard, I thought it was only going to be athletics, but I noticed that they had added other sports as well, especially football.
Yeah. I think that on the first day at the University of Ghana Stadium, football, boys and girls took place with Kaneshi Senior High Technical winning that one over there. And then Amasaman Senior High School also won the girls division. It wasn't really because it rained. So I mean, it marred the beauty of the game. Okay. But then I think that the two teams that won on the day were the best teams to have won. So there wasn't any contention as to who won and here and there. So it was officiating was good. I think they catch them young referees that they used. They are growing and they are showing a lot of promise in that state, and I think that they officiated the games very well. Yeah.
Wonderful. David, thank you so much. For those who may have missed out, the Greater Accra Super Zonals happened this week. David Kofite was our man there. I played his report earlier for you. Wonderful. St. John's Grammar and other schools excelling. (9:56). You can send in your WhatsApp messages on 054-257-1061, 054-257-1061. Weekend is the final of the FIFA Club World Cup. You know, Sporty FM, we had been taking you through the competition, and it all comes down to this. So this Sunday, we are going to the ANC corner. We'll be at the 957 Daiquiri Bar at ANC corner. Yeah, ANC corner, as you heard Raymond say, close to the East Legon police station or the fitness club. It's on this other side of the boundary road. So that entire space, you know, at the ANC corner, just be there on Sunday evening and let's have fun. Now, let me, in line with that, let's speak to the people who are hosting us largely on Sunday. Jeffadea is joining us. Jeffadea is corner of 957 Daiquiri Bar at the ANC corner in East Legon, and he's joining us on the line just to give people a taster, really, of what will be happening this Sunday. Jeff, good morning. Many thanks for joining us on the Sporty Breakfast on Sporty FM.
No, thank you. Thank you for having me on, Nathan. I really appreciate you guys.
Wonderful. The last time we spoke, we were talking NFL, but today we are dealing with other things. Well, this Sunday, 957 is hosting us. That's where we'll be doing a lot of the action in the larger ANC corner. For our listeners, what should they expect when they come around on Sunday to watch the Club World Cup final at 957 Daiquiri Bar, but largely at the ANC corner?
Corner, yes. So I think, you know, they can expect a really good time. People arguing back and forth. People, you know, drinking great daiquiris, beer, loaded fries, wings. You have a little bit of everything at ANC Corner, unlike other places. You know, you can really come there, and whether you want to sit inside, outside, whether you want to drink a daiquiri, you want to drink a beer, whether you want to get a pizza from Big Slice, or you want to get shawarma from Sweet Tops, or, you know, best of all, get our wings, our burgers, and our tacos, and our delicious daiquiris from 957. You have it all. So it's going to be good. I'm ready for it. I'm excited. I'm going for PSG, but we'll see what happens.
Yeah, you're going for PSG. Wonderful. Jeff, just for those who are wondering where ANC Corner is or where 957 Daiquiri Bar is, can you just give us an idea of where it is so people know how to get there?
Yeah, so I think if you look at the new highway, the East Legon police station is right across the street from that. So it is right there by the new highway, ANC Corner. When you come in, you can park under the garage. So if it rains, don't worry, don't be scared. There's underground parking. You take the elevator all the way up to the first floor, and that's where the magic and all the good stuff will be happening.
I see. In addition to 957, are there any other? Because I know 957 said there are a few others. Will you be collaborating with the other eateries, other joints and things that are in that space?
Yes. We're a big family there. So like I said, you'll have Big Slice Pizza. So if you guys want some amazing pizza, you can get it from them. If you want really delicious shawarmas, you can get it from Sweet Top Bites. Then you got 957, of course. You have, I believe, Heritage will be there with their beer, their mango and pineapple beer. So like I said, we have multiple different food options that will definitely be able to, hit everybody's palate. And I think everybody will be truly happy and have a good time.
Wonderful.
But the most important thing is the daiquiris at 957 and our delicious wings and food.
Yeah, I was telling my co-host didn't know that there was a daiquiri bar in Ghana, and I'm telling him that, well, he hasn't heard the gospel of 957, so he will be turned into a believer on Sunday.
Yes.
What just finally, Jeff, what time should people get there in order for them to enjoy all the wonderful things you have on your menu?
If I remember, I think the game starts at 7. So I say you come anywhere from 6 p.m. going, get you something to eat, get in, get your food in early, get your spot where you want to sit at and watch the game. And I think from there on, man, we'll be able to take care of everybody and ensure everybody has a great time.
Wonderful. Jeff, thank you. We'll see you on Sunday. You say PSG for the win. Fingers crossed PSG will actually give us a win. Let's see what happens. All right, Jeff, thank you so much. We'll see you on Sunday.
All right, thank you, Nathan. Let's see you guys on Sunday. Bye-bye.
Wonderful. So that was Jeff Adia, his co-owner of 957 Daiquiri Bar. That's where we are going on Sunday at the East Legon corner. So when you, ANC corner. So when you get into that space, there are different eateries there, the pizza people, shawarma people. You can get great daiquiris and tacos and wings from 957 if you love your beer. There's heritage in that corner as well. So that's where we are going on Sunday. Sunday from 6. Please be at the East Legon place, 957 Daiquiri Bar, ANC corner. If you know ANC corner, just come there. Take the lift, come there, or take the stairs and come there. It will be fire stuff. It will be wonderful. Come and meet the Sporty FM crew. It's the last bit of the FIFA Club World Cup. So tell a friend to tell a friend to tell a friend. 957 Daiquiri Bar, East ANC corner, East Legon. That's where we are giving you the finals. It's Chelsea versus PSG. Who wins? Who becomes the new Club World Cup champion or the first ever winner of the expanded edition? All of that will be revealed on Sunday from 6 p.m. We are the 957 Daiquiri Bar at the ANC corner at East Legon, just by the highway, very close to the police station. It's on the other side of the East Legon police station and fitness center or fitness club or executive club. Just come around and enjoy yourself. It will be good. It will be great. It will be wonderful. The entire crew will be there. So be on the lookout for more ads, more announcements all throughout the day on Sporty FM. But that's how we wrap it up this morning on the Sporty Breakfast. Many shouts to my co-host, Raymond Yamado. Many shouts to the production team, Immortal, Angela, Nanekia. Many shouts to Manuel Ayamga and Fly. Many shouts to my DJ Fidelis. Nana Kwame Labi was here earlier to give us Sporty News Extra. David Kofite was in studio to take us through his report and his coverage of the Super Zonals. Shout out to Jeff Adia of 957. He also joined us to talk ahead of Sunday and to give you a taster of what you should expect. So join us this Sunday for the final viewing concerning the Club World Cup. And it will be a lovely experience. We'll be on radio, we'll be on social, we'll be everywhere. But if you want to have boots on the ground, join us this Sunday at East Legon, the ANC corner, 957 Daiquiri Bar. That's where we'll be this Sunday. Chelsea v PSG, may the best team win. My name is Nathan Kwa. That's how I wrap it up this morning on the Sporty Breakfast. We'll catch you on Monday. But there's more to come on Sporty FM. There's some great music. There's news at midday, Sporty Drive at 4, Sporty Plug at 12:30. And get ready for Sunday, 957 Daiquiri Bar at East Legon, the ANC corner. Join us. It will be a great day. Food, vibes, drinks, great stuff, and the lovely football too. That's why we are there in the first place. This is Sporty FM 106.1. Do enjoy your day. See you on Sunday. But keep your dials locked on Sporty FM between now and then. Have a wonderful day. Just after I sign off, get ready for some lovely music to help you enjoy your Friday. It's a Friday. We need to relax and enjoy ourselves. So we'll give you some great music. This is Sporty FM. This is 106.1. We are the voice of sport. We'll catch you later.